Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Monday, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, welcome to Monday.
Yeah.
I know.
No, actually, kind of nice. You know, the cloud cover. It left it to where it was like dark, extra late this morning. We actually got to work and it was still dark. I felt like I was accomplishing something, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
If I get to work and it's still dark outside, I feel like I'm a farmer.
Feel important?
Yeah.
Gotcha. I get you.
I'm actually doing something with my life, you know?
Well, my wife and other teachers across the land getting up, going to work today is first day of school for the teachers and staff.
Yep.
They go back. Kids got a couple more days here. They go back, what, Wednesday?
Wednesday, I believe, yeah. Before,
Wednesday.
Yeah. And I know most of the kids are pretty excited to kind of get back to a semi-normal school year experience.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that, you know, the dread of, okay, summer's over, but you guys had like 2 years worth of summer, essentially. I mean.
Well, now they're doing all the mask fighting and all that again and doing all that. I saw a couple protests here in town and around the state, mask protests over the weekend.
Sure.
Saw some of that on the news, so they're going back dealing with that. So
they went back to school shopping, Mom and Rhiannon, on Friday, and she was super excited to show me all her new masks. Like she got two new packs of masks. She was all excited to show off her new designs.
Now they're going to be like sneakers. Mm-hmm. Like you know how when we were kids.
Yeah.
If you didn't have cool sneakers, you're like, I'm not ready for school. You know. Now it's
Mom, they're gonna laugh at me if I wear the Russell masks.
I need the Air Jordan mask.
That's right. Gotta swoosh up in my stuff.
That's right. But yeah, that's the week. Hey, when do they do the tax-free weekend? Is that like next weekend?
I believe it either was this last weekend or
it wasn't this past
weekend. Okay, so then
weekend.
it must be next weekend.
See, and they should have moved that up too.
They should have. Everything's been.
I think the state would have thought, hey, we're going to make school start earlier. We should probably move the tax-free weekend. Now the kids are going to go to school and they're going to do all that next time. So, government in action. Gotta love it.
They're like, we'll start school before the tax-free weekend. That way people have to go spend money and pay taxes. See, we still gave them the program.
There you go.
We slipped it in, though.
Yeah. So, well, happy Monday, everybody.
Yeah.
I know you're dealing with all that this week, and I too commiserate with you. So, hope you have a good week with all that.
I make the joke that moms and dads are super excited to get the kids back to school because this means finally get to start day drinking again.
Well, hopefully people are going back to work. That's the other thing, you know. It's to get all.
Oh, the well of federal funds will dry up eventually, and the desperation or the need will be there. We'll put it that way. The need for employment. I'm trying to chew up time because Mike's intently reading something on his phone here.
Okay, I just got a note saying tax-free weekend is this upcoming week.
Okay, so there you go.
But my phone was being cattywampus and not giving me numbers and showing me. It was being ornery, so now it's working. But I got this message from my number, and I'm like, what is it? It says message. And I'm like,
not for nothing, but my Android just works whenever I need it to. It doesn't.
Oh, don't lie. I've seen you throw that thing around the room.
True. It's true. It's just like the one opportunity I have to flex superiority, all right?
Don't even act
Don't take this away from me. That's all I have.
You act like that
and a broken Android.
Well, you notice my gremlin works like a champ.
Slaps top of phone.
Oh, man. Let me give you the rundown of what we've got on tap for today's show. This hour, here in just a little bit, we're going to talk Roswell Community Little Theater. We're going to have the folks from the RCLT join us, talking about their upcoming performance.
Bye-bye, Birdie.
Bye-bye, Birdie, which is coming up here mid-August, like the 13th, 14th, 15th that weekend, and then like the 20th, 21st, 22nd, or it might be off a day there, but those 2 weekends.
Those two, two weekends in August.
Yes, we'll chit-chat about that with them here in just a bit. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, Damon Graham with New York Life. Your local New York Life agent will join us and give us his monthly conversation, even though this is technically August now. You know, this will be our July conversation.
I was going to say you should update your calendar.
I need to update
before he gets there.
Yes, I will take care of that. And then we're going to finally replay our interview with the ladies from the Roswell Public Library in the 9 o'clock hour, talking about back-to-school activities and all that good stuff. So That's the rundown, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show, that's what we got. And there's something else I was going to mention. It just spaced right out of my head. I don't remember what it was.
Oh, you got 3 hours to think of it.
It'll pop right up in the most inopportune time, I'm
there
sure.
You go.
It is 11 minutes after 7 o'clock. Let us get you up to date on the weather, which we got some rain chances coming. They're saying there's a chance. We'll see.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We still have plenty of moist air coming in with the monsoon, and it looks like we've got a pretty good chance of showers and thunderstorms. Most of those will be this afternoon. Partly sunny, and our afternoon highs in the low to mid-80s. Just a few evening showers tonight, and then cloudy after midnight.
I guess that's all they had to say about that. That cut off mid-thought there. I can finish out. Don't worry. Currently 70 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 71% with winds out of the north at 9 miles per hour. We do have a 30% chance at some showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. They're saying mainly after 3 p.m. today. They say some of these storms could produce heavy rainfall. Mostly cloudy, high of 85 today with north winds at around 5 miles per hour. For tonight, we're looking at a 20% chance at showers and thunderstorms. Once again, some of these storms could produce heavy rainfall. Partly cloudy otherwise with an overnight low of 68 and south winds at around 5 miles per hour. For you Tuesday, we're looking at a 40% chance at showers and thunderstorms. Once again, some of these storms could produce heavy rain, partly cloudy, and a high of 87 tomorrow. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, 20% chance of showers. Mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 68 and south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wednesday, 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy, high of 85. Thursday, mostly sunny and 88. Friday, mostly sunny and 93. So it looks like rain chances lingering around through Wednesday night, and then they start dissipating towards the end of the week. Although, looks like Sunday we got a slight chance of rain, but 80s, upper 80s for a good hunk. And then we'll be back into the mid-90s by the weekend, looks like. Friday and for the weekend there. So, not too bad. All right, it is 7:13. Let's go ahead and get you into your Roswell Livestock Report for your Monday morning with Smiley Wooten. And then on the other side of the break, we'll have the folks from the Roswell Community Little Theater join us. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. A light summer run this week, but we expect to sell 650 head, breaking down like this: 100, 125 weighing cows and bulls, 50 to 75 pairs of bred cows, 450, 500 calves and yearlings today's sale. Will include 34 cows, Ronnie Eldridge, Capitan, New Mexico, excellent quality black Angus cross cows with 8 calves at side, running back with Angus bulls to be preg checked, cows 3 to 9 years old. 55 calves, Mr. Wayne Netherland, Artesia, New Mexico, ex-quality black white face Angus crosses. 1 round of shots at Brandon, 375, 475 pounds. 35 calves, James Ellett, Hope, New Mexico, ex-quality black Brangus cross calves, thin to medium condition, 350, 500 pounds. 15 calves, Emo Keeney and Sons, Cornudas, Texas, ex-quality black Angus cross calves. 1 round of shots, 400, 500 pounds. Also 30 rope and size calves for sale today in the 150, 225 pound weight range. Sale time this morning 9 o'clock. Sale pairs, bred cows 9:30 to 9:45. Be selling calves and yearlings about 10. Fairly short on cows today, so don't be late. We expect to sell 650 head today. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Times are changing, and today's funerals aren't always the sad and solemn events you might expect. This is Gabriel Casaus from Lagrone Funeral Chapel. Along with hymns and scriptures, today's funeral services are often filled with fish stories, country songs, and a joke or two, golf clubs and hot rods, favorite recipes, and kitchen disasters. At Lagrone Funeral Chapel, we believe a funeral should reflect your loved one's personality, passion, and sense of humor. When you lose a loved one, we're here, because at Lagrone Funeral Chapel and Crematory, we make it personal.
900 South Main, Roswell.
Celebrate traditions we treasure at the 85th Annual Lee County Fair, July 30th through August 7th at the Lee County Fairgrounds in Lovington. There's something for everyone at this year's fair. Thursday is Tough Enough to Wear Pink Night, featuring the second PRCA performance at 7 p.m. and Clay Walker in concert at 9:30.
I can make a living out of loving you.
Friday night is Patriot Night with the third PRCA performance and Confederate Railroad with Exile in concert at 9:30.
Daddy never was the Cadillac kind.
Saturday, August 7th begins with the Junior Livestock Sale at 9:30, plus the Lee County Special Rodeo at 4:30, the rodeo wrap-up, and it's Cowboys Who Care Night with Gary Allen taking the stage for the final night.
Sitting out here watching airplanes.
Admission is $10 for adults. Kids 6 to 12 are just $5, and kids 5 and under are free, with free admission on Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday. Get more information at leecounty.net. The 85th Annual Lee County Fair, celebrating traditions we treasure. July 30th through August 7th at the Lee County Fairgrounds in Lovington, New Mexico. See you there.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Turtles can breathe through their butts. We imagine you know some people who do that too, because that's where their heads reside. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 17 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Community Little Theater, we have Georgiana and John and Vidi back with us. Good morning, guys. How you doing today?
Just fine.
morning.
And
Good.
how are you?
Doing good. I know it's Monday, and it's early.
Yeah, it is.
I know that's rough. But I gave you the other day. Vidi picked. I don't know.
Well, it made one wonder.
That was good.
Well, first off, it's great to see that. I know you guys have been busy as a theater company, even through COVID, with different events and things that you guys, within the social distance, all the stuff we could do and the parameters. But I feel like this one's like the first full-on play. Just come. It's like, all right, we're ready to do this. Come on out. The fall's here. Kids are going back to school. Well, it's not technically fall yet, but it's feeling fall-like.
And it's a musical, Mike.
And it's a musical.
What a best way to
Right.
begin.
So we got a full-on play. You get to come out and, bring the whole family out and enjoy some live theater. It's kind of nice change of pace. I'm guessing you guys would agree on that.
Oh, yes, definitely. We're doing Bye Bye Birdie, and the cast is largely teenagers.
Oh,
And
so a younger
yes,
group here.
and
Okay.
it's very nice.
And Vivi's
very
like,
much
yeah,
fun.
I'm one of those.
And me. Younger group and me.
I was just going to play with that, Vivi.
Well, I just like to say that because it's been rough on the kids, and so kids that love theater, there hasn't been much for them to be able to do.
Sure.
Where, like you say, the adults, we've been kind of doing little things, but this is the first time we've really had a large cast of the younger actors in town.
Excellent. So with it, for folks who don't know, the Roswell Community Little Theater also works with the CAPS program, the Kids Art
Correct.
program, which is very much part. Grayside Manor is one of the things I think the CAPS program is part of, and all that. They do all kinds of stuff there. But anyway, so I was asking, are some of the CAPS kids working with this one as part of the Bye Bye Birdie? Is this all teenage adults or
We
something?
have one little girl about the age of 10,
Okay.
but some of the teenagers did grow up in CAPS
Okay.
and spent many years.
So they may have
in-
got their some of their chops doing some of
Right,
that
right.
stuff, and now they're probably some of them are probably doing or did some high school production stuff, and when they could, I guess, with COVID and everything, they
Yeah.
probably haven't done much of that either. So, well, good deal. So this is kind of fun. This sounds like it's so now. Now, what's the youngest cast member? Are they all teenagers aged, or are
Well,
they
like
some
I
young?
said, we have one little girl. She's about 10, and the rest of them, I would say, would run between 15 to 17.
17.
Okay, very cool. Now, is this a larger cast? I know Bye Bye Birdie. I've heard of it, but I've never seen the story, so I'm not familiar with the. I know of the story, don't know, and we'll talk about that. But is this a larger cast, or is this a pretty small cast or average? Because I know some stories have like 6 people. Some, you get.
This is a
dozens.
larger cast for RCLT,
Okay.
being a musical.
Okay.
But yes, everyone thinks they know the story, and the story of Bye Bye Birdie and Conrad Birdie going off to the Army.
I heard it. I'm not familiar with it, so I think you need to educate us on what the story is.
Okay, that's the
Traditional.
That's a traditional thought, but basically it's a love story, and it's a love story between his manager and his secretary.
Oh.
And that's the parts that John and V are playing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm playing Albert Peterson. If anyone's seen the movie, which is completely different from the musical,
Usually is.
I'm playing the Dick Van Dyke part.
Okay.
So Vi and I are the leads, and even though Conrad Birdie's in the title, it's all about us.
You see how much he loves me. He pronounces Vayanara. Viridiana. I know it's a really hard name to pronounce. It took you 10 years to learn how to pronounce it?
Well, the D's and the R's get a little. It's like a V, D, the R.
I know.
When she comes to karaoke, she says, "Hey, just put in Vi." I'm like,
Vi.
And so that's why I call her.
You go with what you go. With what
this is my love interest. The name of my character is Rosy Alvarez.
Okay.
Spanish Rose. And I'm chasing him. I'm trying to get married, and he's just running away from me. And, you need to come and see the story.
Okay. So now are they... is it the secretary chasing?
Well, actually,
or is there a love interest there, and he's playing hard to get?
The way he will put it is moments of madness,
Moments of madness.
But he may come along.
Okay.
I'm more interested in the business and my mom.
I was going to say,
I'm a mama's boy.
That's the main problem. I didn't want to say that, but
so I'm guessing Mom and your character are in competition for his affections,
we don't get along
Definitely.
at all.
I get you. Okay.
And there's a lot of comic interaction through this.
Okay.
Children will love the dancing and the singing, but the adults are going to love the snappy little banter that goes
Gotcha.
on.
The quips, the sharp little interactions between the characters.
And we've been rehearsing this for a month and a half now. And there's times on stage where I'm almost still cracking because it's so funny, and the main group of adults that are going back and forth with each other are so talented.
Gotcha.
That it's so hard to keep a straight face.
Michelle
now I know Vidi's done a few projects before. John, have you been? Is this?
This is my second on time on stage with RCLT.
Okay.
I've stage managed for a couple of times with them, but I've also I've been in every single Way Off Broadway production.
Gotcha. So you've got some.
Yeah, he's
this
a
ain't
veteran.
your first time on a stage.
No. He is a great singer, great performer.
Now, are you directing it? Are you the director for this one? Or?
I'm the assistant director.
Okay.
Kathy Cook is the director.
Okay.
Kathy and I have worked
She's
together
listening.
many times.
Good.
And I don't know. We have a good rapport.
Good.
And we both just loved, like I said, we both loved the story and the music in this.
So do you guys, now how much, because we've talked, and I've talked to other directors about other performances and things. With Bye Bye Birdie, and I know we've talked about, because every play that you guys do, you have to get permissions to do that. There's a cost involved and all of that. And I know when screenwriters, when their plays go off Broadway, so to speak, they give you guys some creative license on what you can do with the script or the set design or costumes. Others are very stringent on, no, it's got to be this way and this way. With this one, do you and Kathy get a little room to be creative, or does the script tell you exactly how everything should be, and that's, you know what I mean?
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. But in this case, the script is so well written that we haven't had a problem with it.
Gotcha. It's just follow along here, and it just works.
It just does.
That's why they pay them the big bucks, I guess, to write it.
And it's been off Broadway for so long that there's no those stipulations like, I think Les Mis.
It's not like Hamilton or something that's more stringent on that.
Like Les Mis has a thing where you can't use a rotating stage because they did that on Broadway, so you have to come up with your own idea for it. So there's none of those kind of restrictions with Bye Bye Birdie.
Well, that's good. I mean, in some, because obviously, there's certain things that makes them really hard for you guys to do with some of that, or financially just not viable here too. So, and this is another thing I want to point out, and I haven't given dates or anything yet. We're going to be doing Bye Bye Birdie, which it'll be coming up mid-August here, the August 13th, 14th, 15th, that weekend. Those will be 7:30 performances for the Friday, Saturday nights, and then the Sundays will be a 2:30 matinee.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, I'm sorry. And then on August 20th, 21st, and 22nd, it's the 7:30 and 2 o'clock again. It's Fridays.
Correct.
Basically, it's those 2 weekends. Pro tip, Second weekend will sell out faster than the first weekend because most people see it the first weekend and then they take their friends and stuff and come back and see it the next weekend. So if you have a very small window or a certain day that you're available to see it, go ahead and get your tickets online in advance through the website. And I mean, I would do that anyway, just to make it easier for everybody. But if you have a very, like, if you're just like, let's just roll up and get tickets Friday night, and that might be busy. That's the idea, is it might be full and things. So get your tickets in ahead of time. That way you can pick the show you want, the time you want, and all that good stuff. So,
well, this is a different version. So many people is familiarized with the movie, because I've seen people tell me, "Oh yeah, I saw the movie when I was little and this and that." But this is different. Broadway version is more about the adults, like Georgiana was saying.
Sure.
And in the movie, it's more about the teens.
Sure.
And in the movie, Albert Peterson has a passion for chemistry, and he mixes up a concoction that makes everything go faster, and there's a turtle that like zooms across the stage. There's no turtle in the musical.
But there's match.
Definitely not.
But it's still funny.
Now, were you guys more familiar with the movie or the play before getting into this project?
The play.
The play. Okay.
Yeah.
So have you guys done the play before
no.
in other circles or other places, or?
Not me.
I've never done it, and actually, I only knew of "Put on a Happy Face," the song.
Okay.
But after a year and a half of not doing shows, I started twitching, and I'm like, well, that's a musical. I like musicals, so I came out for Bye Bye Birdie, and then I started watching the movies and the plays online.
Well, and I think that's where that's where the familiarity comes in, because every time, and I don't care who you are, if something's a book, and then they make it into a movie or they make it into a play, none of the three are the same. The book's never the same as the play's never the same as the movie, vice versa, and so forth. I mean, they can get them close sometimes, but they're never the same on some of that. But Bye Bye Birdie is one of those things that there's probably a bunch of songs and a bunch of parts of the play that you just know in your head. And then you didn't realize that's Bye Bye Birdie till it starts coming on. You're like, oh, I've been knowing that song for years, or I've been knowing that little line for years, and it's from Bye Bye Birdie.
And what's funny is when I'm talking to people and say, I'm in Bye Bye Birdie, and they're like, oh, we did that in high school. I've never heard that phrase come out of so many people's mouths. We did that in high school, because it's a show that a lot of high schools do, because it's a good show for high schools.
I'm trying to think. I would say maybe second would be The Music Man.
Yep.
Right.
That's one. Oh yeah, we did that one in high school.
You know what? I was watching the singer, the wedding singer, yesterday, and Adam
Sandler movie.
He actually mentions. He said, from there is just Bye Bye Birdie, and I was like, oh.
We forget how much things are just in our lexicon here, and we don't realize the references and things. And a lot of times, it's a lot of it from theater and different plays or different things, and all the time you just don't realize it. Catchphrases and what have you. So.
Well, and then like before, Bye Bye Birdie was kind of based on the fact when Elvis was going into the Army, and that was such a big deal at that time.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why this is set in the 50s, and Conrad Birdie is going in, and he's going to give one last kiss to a teenage girl, and that gets this whole thing rolling, is the one last kiss, and the parents and the kids and the excitement of him coming to town. But if you really think about it, and you're old enough, that's all off of Elvis.
Yeah.
And actually, it was offered.
You think about that.
It was offered to Elvis to make the movie. Did you know that?
Oh.
That's a pretty funny fact.
Okay. Well, he had, that was, he had a big movie career, too, there for a little bit.
They rejected it.
Yeah. Well, I would say financially a big movie career. I don't think Elvis did a lot of Gone with the Wind type movies.
No.
Nope.
In his acting days, they were more...
since...
for the comedy girls and the
and a little bit of the singing, promote the records.
Sure, more of the wild adventure, and it's Elvis. Come on.
Well, that's like the part that John is playing. I know his manager. It's a funny part because the manager isn't. He wants to be big in music. Music, but he really isn't. It seems like Conrad is his only star.
Yeah.
And and that's one reason he will not marry Rosie, is because he's going to make it. He's going to be King Kong.
Oh yeah.
His prize is on the eye of fame and stardom.
Yeah.
Right.
And
right.
her eyes on the prize of him. And that's
Settle down.
Yeah.
Him to be an English teacher and all of that. A normal life.
and he wants big dreams.
Big dreams.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for prep, I mean, do you guys go back and watch the plays and things, or does that taint your
I do.
perspective a little bit?
I
on
think
how
most people do watch. They watch it because they may not play it exactly, but it does give you kind of a hint to what to do or what you don't want to do.
Sure.
What
in a
different
character.
performers have been thinking about because everybody thinks a different thing about any character, any artist will take it in a different way.
Sure.
So I always like to watch videos and check and say, and sometimes you find very interesting things because sometimes people see one line as funny, some other people as dramatic. So you get a lot of feedback.
Sure.
from
Well,
it.
and like when people do like characters of somebody else or things, and I always like to point to the Saturday Night Live example with Will Ferrell. Like we think of Harry Carey, the baseball announcer,
Yeah.
and the longtime baseball announcer, and you're like, let me hear you, and you do all that. Well, Will Ferrell did a character of him on Saturday Night Live, and it got almost more popular than him. So when people do Harry Carey, more people do the Will Ferrell Harry Carey
Right.
as opposed to the
And
actual
it's the same
Harry Carey,
character. Yeah.
And I think in acting it's easy to do that, especially with an iconic or a play that just everybody knows for a movie, and you're like, okay, am I going to do the Fred Astaire version of that, or am I going to do my version of that? And so it's always that balance there because, and which way is right, you don't know, because some people are going to be like, well, that's not very Fred Astaire like, or they're going to be going, well, shoot, might as well just got Fred Astaire to do it if you're going to do that, and so.
Right.
Or ideally, everybody will remember you for the character you made for that.
Sure.
Your own character, your own style, your own flavor.
Well, I don't think John will mind. When John was picked for this role, his first thing he said to me was, but that's Dick Van Dyke. I'm not Dick Van Dyke.
Of course
And
you're
I
not.
looked at him and I said, John, you
You
are
are
going to
John.
be great. And we picked you because we know you're going to. And he has taken this role and just turned it into his role.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like you said, Dick Van Dyke did a tremendously good job, but people are going to be surprised when they see John on stage.
I originally auditioned for Mr. McAfee, which was the Paul Lynde character,
Okay.
the comic relief, the dad of the daughter or the girl that's going to kiss Conrad Birdie, and I like doing the comical roles, and Albert is a comical role as well. But I saw myself as Mr. McAfee. So when Georgiana called me to offer me Albert, I was like, and I had to look it up real quick, and I'm like,
That's the main character?
That's the main character. This is gonna be a first for me. So yeah, I was.
So obviously this was probably more than you bit into initially, but now that you're here, are you glad that this is where you're
Yeah,
at
of
instead?
course.
I mean, like in hindsight, you're like, well, shoot, this is way better me doing this character than I would have done what I thought.
Yeah, I'm loving it now. And the person they cast as Mr. McAfee is Ty Watley.
Oh,
and
he's
a
great
riot.
also.
Yeah,
Oh,
And
wow.
funny.
watching him on stage doing that part, I'm like, oh, I'm glad I didn't get it because he's killing it.
Well, people just, you find where you're at in your niche,
Yeah.
you're comfortable. And I would imagine, too, whenever you guys do a new character or role, you kind of, there's got to be like a comparison to your own personality in that character.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
time
You
you do
put
it, you
your
can't-
own being in there, and that's what's going to tell you a little bit more about John because he has done theater for so long, and like support characters.
Mm-hmm.
And this is actually you were telling me the first main character that you're going to be.
I've been up there on my goals in one of my goals in theater was to have the final bow, and I was Horton in Zeusical the musical, and that got me second. So that was the highest on that ladder of bows, and Albert's the main character with Rosie at the top of that cast list. So this is gonna be the first time that I've been at the first name.
Let
on
me
that
tell
cast
you
list.
Top billing. Next thing is
It
like, I
was
want my name
long
above
time
the
doing
money.
Big head.
Me and Brad Pitt right up top there.
Because I've been doing theater for 6 years, and I never saw myself on stage. You know,
It's really cool. You're like, hey.
High school, I was in band, so you know that's field. That's a whole bunch of people, and on my first show, I had never sang before, and they're like, "Oh, come on!" And as soon as I got that bug, I was on. I want to be on stage for as long as they'll have me.
That's cool. Well, good for you. And that's the beauty of community theater too. Yeah. That's what you don't realize you have these things in you sometimes until they're brought out in you, and that's cool.
Well, and I have to say this, my very first choice before you do auditions, you don't pick ahead, but you kind of think about the field of actors and actresses that you have that are available.
Sure.
And as soon as I saw Rosie, I thought of Viridiana. And I knew that she needed someone to spar against that was just as strong personality.
Sure.
Otherwise, because you're a strong personality on
No,
stage.
am I? No,
Being a
not
strong
me.
personality now.
I told
Very
Kathy,
intimidating.
I told Kathy, I said, John will be able to keep up with her because her part is very strong and her personality comes out in everything she acts in. And I love working with both of these people.
Thank
and
you,
I hope to do
Georgiana.
it in the future.
Now, how like you said, you've been working on this couple. How long ago was your first practice? I mean, did COVID come into play here on what you could and couldn't do on this one, or I mean, as far as getting together and all that?
Well, the auditions were on June actually, and I don't remember how long you guys took to give us the news.
It was right after all the restrictions were lifted.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So you guys have been pretty much free to do what you need to do. to get
but
this
you
one
know
ready.
what happens is that they tell you, okay, you are on, you're gonna be this, and they give you the script, and then even if it's 1 or 2 weeks before the first rehearsal, you already know, you have been practicing, you have been rehearsing at your own at home, learning the songs and everything,
Probably
so
watched the play or the movie a couple hundred times.
And we're
and
hoping
everything.
they kind of start forming the character, their idea of the character. So when they've had that first rehearsal, they're cold, but they're not frozen.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
The first time we
Paul.
rehearsed
Yes,
Act
Paul.
2, Vi has a number. It's called The Spanish Rose. And she came in and she knew the song and choreographed her own dance already. And I'm just sitting there going, oh, I'm still like reading out of the book. I'm in trouble.
That's what I said about a strong
I know my character's name. I nailed that.
Well, that's the song that I learned for the audition. That's why I had it ready.
She had a slight advantage there, but
Yeah.
but also too, that's where the play's really made. I mean, because let's face it, you have the people trying out for the characters, and then everyone gets decided the characters, but the real work is when the cast and crew and everyone's together on those practice nights, and the cast is trying to figure out their lines and their placements. The rest of the crews figure out how to pull off the logistics of everything here, from the costuming to the set design and everything else, and it's a whole orchestra going on there.
Yeah.
And that's where the character building, probably the camaraderie, and the part of theater that a lot of people don't realize is the making of friends and I would imagine you guys have more fun doing like your family like events with each other, as much fun as you do the actual performance part, and that kind of thing. Now, don't get me wrong, the performance is all, but the memories you make, the friends you make, long hours, the times. Because let's face it, I know there's nights that it just stunk. There's going to be days where nothing works right. No one can remember lines, costume malfunctions all over the place. It's just that those things happen, but it's still...
I'm glad Kathy is not here to tell you about those nights.
But all of that, because afterwards you're like, remember that time where the strap...
Oh, my
God! That's fun. The fun part, like you said.
Yeah.
But you did bring up an important thing, and I'd like to mention him. Dan Tisdale, he is our producer on this, but he also designed the set again. He designed the set for me for Man of La Mancha. And he's very, very talented. And he's come in and he's done a wonderful job. But actually, theater is like a little family, and and it works best when everybody works together. And I really do believe it's sort of you have your stars, let's say, but really it's a group effort.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, everybody's got a little ego and they want to shine it, and that's
right.
But that's where it all comes together, and the egos work together with the it's just the personalities coming together. And,
at
and
the
all
end
of it
we
makes a beautiful.
We just
soup
want
at the end of the
everybody
day.
to.
Yes, it does.
We just want everybody to be together and shine together and have a great show all together, you know.
Sure.
And we help each other and we listen and we learn from each other.
Absolutely. And I know for folks here, like you said, there's a lot of young talent in this one here. You know, I've done a lot of help with some talent shows and things through the community theater a lot, and I know for a fact there's a lot of young talented individuals that have been part of the community theater in that area, and I'm guessing some of them are going to be doing their acting and singing chops in some of this performance here, and I'm not saying you will, but some of these young folks, man, they may have careers in theater at some point. You know?
Happens.
And I'm just saying, you could be watching somebody up there. Next thing you know, it's like, oh, that kid, that's the next guy that was on whatever next Broadway musical that's going to be sitting up on Broadway here, you know, the next Hamilton or whatever it is that's going to be up there. They could have got their start right here in a community theater just like that, because that's and it is. I know if you've ever been out to the Roswell Community Theater, go out and see if they've got their own theater. Which, by the way, they need help with roofing, things like that. It's a lot of money to maintain that kind of stuff. So please come out, support by coming out to the shows. If you'd like to be a member of the community theater, on the board or donations, things like that. There's all kinds of different ways you can help and get involved. Come out to one of the plays during the performances here. There'll be a lot of people that can tell you more about that.
Please do so. Please help us keep this alive here.
They do a great job, and they're always looking for more fresh faces to come and be a part of it. Even if you're, all right, you're like, well, I don't sing, I don't dance, I don't act. Okay, no problem. There is a ton of stuff that you could. Do you like to run lights? Do you like to run sound? Do you like to make costumes? Do you like to build things? Do you like to organize? Do you just like to,
help
manage
us promote?
People? Yeah. I mean, they need people just working as ushers or ticket takers or, everything you think about in a theater experience, there's somebody volunteering to help make that happen. So if you'd like to be a part of that, that's a great way to do it. And then, of course, if you're just rich and would like to come by with a big suitcase full of cash, I bet they'll even give you a free seat if you do that.
We would appreciate that.
But and also too, if you've never been to the communal theater, many moons ago, it was the old Park Twin Theater. When I moved here to Roswell, that's what it was. And the last movie I saw in there, I don't know if this dates me or tells me about my movie theater going or whatever. Last movie I saw in there was the movie Gods and Generals. If you remember movie, I saw that 3-hour movie in that theater. I think it's the last movie I remember seeing.
Do you remember how long ago it was?
It was early 2000s. So because I moved here in 2001 or 2000, yeah, and so it was somewhere in there. So
okay,
it wasn't a good movie, by the way. I mean, I love Civil War and I love. But as movies go, that's 3 hours that I didn't get my life back. But now, come on out. And matter of fact, I know one of your thespian veterans, Dan Coleman. He used to work there when it was a theater still.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was telling me stories about how they used to go and have their popcorn here and like different parts of that building. Yeah, I'm not sure if he was a manager or just an employee, but yeah, he worked at the theater when it was a theater back
He's a good little actor. He is.
He's a very big supporter of the community theater, and when he's not acting and working, he's volunteering and doing all kinds of stuff. So
and we want to appreciate all the people that is helping all the time like that, and of course you, Mike, and Pecos Valley Broadcasting, because you are always supporting us with promoting.
We got the easy part. We just turn on the mics and let y'all do the work.
But thank you.
But please, come on, Bye Birdie. Mark these dates on your calendar. First debut weekend will be August 13th, 14th, and 15th. That's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The Friday and Saturday night are 7:30 p.m. performances, and then a 2 o'clock matinee on Sunday, the 15th. And then we'll do it all over again the next weekend, the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. Again, 7:30 p.m. Friday and Saturday night performances, and then the 2 p.m. Sunday matinee. You can get tickets. Probably in advance tickets, best way is go to the Community Little Theater's website, which is roswelltheater.com, and spell the theater the R-E, not the eater. It's T-H. I always spell theater the eater. If you put THEATRE, it'll get you to the Roswell Community Little Theater webpage.
And Mike, they can also call 575-622-1982 to get tickets
and
as well.
reserve your ticket.
Very good, very good. So whichever way you prefer, you can do it that way too. And then of course, tickets will be available at the door. But
always.
But if it sells out, I'm just saying.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
So if you want to guarantee, get it in advance. But I think if you're, Friday opening nights here, you'll be okay. But I'm telling you, the second weekend, once word gets out and people are like, it was really good, you should go, and they bring friends and come
Roswell is
up.
big on word of mouth.
Yeah.
For any event.
We got big mouths here, Rob.
Yes.
I didn't quite mean that.
But yeah, we definitely. So get your tickets and come out for a great show. And here's the thing: even if you're like, I don't like musicals, or I don't like, it's different when you're. It's okay. I get it. You're watching a musical on TV and all that. Okay, but when you're at the theater and it's live performance, it's a whole different.
The energy is there.
Yeah.
And especially, like I said, especially when you see these kids singing and dancing, it's just something. It makes you kind of want to clap your hands or sing along in your seat. Right.
Yeah, come out and celebrate the work of all the folks here. You're going to have a great time and a great show. And who knows? Maybe you come out and you're thinking, I can do that.
Yep.
Talk to the cast after the show. They'd love to have more folks. And let them give you a tour. Mm-hmm. They have a beautiful theater back there. You don't realize they got all kind of stuff behind that stage. There's like a whole costume room that's just thousands of costumes and things.
That's true.
Because let's face it, they do stuff from period pieces and things. So, by the way, if you've got old furniture and stuff that's not dogged out, but, dated, if you got furniture that people are like, man, that was nice in the 70s, call the Community Little Theater. They love stuff like that because all their shows and plays, not all of them are set in the current times and things. So sometimes you need some of those furniture and those clothing items. So you got a few leisure suits lying around that survived the 70s. Call them. They love to have those.
Talking about the clothing. This is set up on the 50s.
Yeah.
So I've been going everywhere trying to find clothing from the 50s, and you can find from the 80s maybe.
Yeah.
Even the 70s.
Fashion's reciprocal, and so some of those jeans and things that they wore in the 50s are kind of popular now. So there you can get away with it.
What's funny is there's a number called Telephone Hour, and all the teens had to use a phone, and we were seeing if they could use a rotary phone, and that was quite amusing.
Oh yeah, of course the teenagers wouldn't know how to use a rotary.
You know what? If we never need a high security area, but we don't want kids in it, maybe we should just use technology from the 50s and 60s.
That and write all the signs in cursive.
What's the security thing? It's your phone number through this rotary thing. Curses are foiled. We'll never get in.
Yep.
That's funny. I just all the time. We better wrap this up.
Yeah,
But again, folks, Roswell Community Little Theater, their performance of Bye Bye Birdie. It's coming up 2 weekends here, August.
August 13th.
I'm getting a little ahead of myself. August 13th, 14th, and 15th, and again August 20th. 21st and 22nd. You can go online to the Roswell Theater website. You can also call. Give that phone number one more time.
575-622-1982.
And of course, tickets will be available at the door. Of course, the Roswell Community Little Theater in the Plains Park Shopping Center there, right next to right across from the Dollar General on is that Hobbs?
Yeah.
Or I always get the streets messed up.
Union.
Yeah, it's right there. And then behind the Icon Cinema there or Epic Cinema.
Apex,
whatever it's called now. Icon, Epic, the movie theater.
The movie theater down south.
Right there. So
there's just two here.
Again, 2 weekends coming up here, 13th, 14th, 15th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd. So don't wait until the last minute because then you're going to miss out. It's just what we do. I know we're the land of manana, but get a little ahead of the game and get your tickets now. So, is there anything we missed? Anything we wanted to share?
No,
just come out and see the show.
Well, thank you guys.
Hi to Kathy.
Thank you so much, Mike.
Will do. Break a leg. I can say
Thank
that to you.
you. Thank you, Mike.
They get salty
Thank
when
you.
the athletes when I say that to them, but you guys, I can do that.
We know.
We like
know.
that.
You like it?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank
We
you
know
guys.
what you mean.
We'll see you next time. Okay?
Thank you, Mike.
All right. Take care. It is 7:51. We better pause for some news and also a quick break. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Just a reminder, don't forget the Roswell Police Department and Roswell Fire Department are inviting all of us to join them at National Night Out on Tuesday. The event will be held at the Roswell Convention Center parking lots from 5 to 9 p.m. The Chavez County Sheriff's Office, Dexter Police, Hagerman Police, and New Mexico State Police will all be there, planning to be a part of the annual event. Also taking part, the American Medical Response, Care Flight, New Mexico Department of Game and Fish, and the State Department of Health. There will be lots of fun activities, even an appearance by McCruff the Crime Dog, who will make an appearance, and there will also be a couple of jolly jumps for the kids to enjoy. Meanwhile, the event will feature free hot dogs and drinks, as well as free pizza provided by Domino's. In addition, school supplies will be given away while supplies last. The school supplies are for kids in kindergarten through high school. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
When Amazon first introduced its Kindle ebook reader in September 2007, it sold out in less than 6 hours. Many of the original devices are still in use. I'm Kim Commando with news that if you own one, Amazon is about to pull the rug out from right under you. Brought to you by SimpliSafe. Their security experts are there when you need them. Go to simplysafekim.com to get 20% off. Since Kindle's introduction, Amazon has released many upgraded models. Sharper text, the so-called paperwhite, glow-in-the-dark backgrounds, and a color model. But over all these years, there's really been no mandatory reason to upgrade. The things just work. They're solid. Perhaps one of the best-built tech products ever. But this December, any Kindle using the 3G network to download books and magazines will lose its internet access. Just like that. Amazon says that depending upon your model, they'll give you a $70 discount code to buy a new one. By the way, that first Kindle, if you still use one, cost $400. Get more tech news 24/7 at commando.com. Whether you need it for work, school, or a special project, it's very important to have the right printer. The Epson EcoTank is a new type of printer that doesn't use cartridges. Stop buying expensive ink cartridges and save yourself the frustration of replacing ink cartridges ever again. The Epson EcoTank printers have super-sized, easy-to-fill ink tanks, and they come with just a ridiculous amount of ink. If you're like me, you've tried rationing your printing to save yourself from replacing those expensive ink cartridges. With the Epson EcoTank, you don't have to worry about running out of ink. So start printing in color all you want. You can kiss expensive cartridges goodbye already. But hurry, because the Epson EcoTank is changing the way people print. It's flying off the shelves. I just love mine. The Epson EcoTank makes it easy. Make the switch today. Add the Epson EcoTank to your online shopping list so you can just fill and chill. Epson EcoTank printers, available at Amazon, Dell, Micro Center, and at epson.com/EcoTankKim.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We still have plenty of moist air coming in with the monsoon, and it looks like we've got a pretty good chance of showers and thunderstorms. Most of those will be this afternoon. Partly sunny, and our afternoon highs in the low to mid-80s. Just a few evening showers tonight, and then cloudy after midnight, our low in the upper 60s. And then tomorrow, another chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms, mid-80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander. Demand for fuel is going up, and so are the profits for ExxonMobil. Exxon reported Friday that it earned $4.69 billion in the April to June quarter, after reporting a loss in the same period last year during the mass shutdowns intended to limit the spread of the coronavirus. Wages and salaries rose at a healthy pace in the 3 months ending in June as employers competed to find enough workers to fill millions of available jobs. Pay increased 1% in the second quarter for workers in the private sector. That's down slightly from 1.1% in the first 3 months of the year. On Wall Street, the Dow lost 149 points to close at 34,935. The Nasdaq down 105 to 14,672, and the S&P 500 dropped 23 to 4,395. With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Maybe your AC unit needs a little tender loving care. If you don't know where to turn, then you don't know Jack. Fergalicious. In fact, they're downright funky. Fergalicious. Let the boys at Fergie's Plumbing and Heating get your AC unit ice cold, just like some of my lady friends. Don't let any fool make you lose your cool. Fergie's Plumbing and Heating. If you don't know Fergie, then you don't know Jack. 622-2660. Fergalicious.
Bob Reed Pest Control protects you and your home by controlling pests that invade. Bob Reed Pest Control understands the importance of safety in and around your home from unwanted pests, and they offer answers and solutions when you need them most. Protect your home, your children, and your pets from the dangers of poisonous bugs and insects. Let Bob Reed Pest Control and their fully licensed professionals start working for you and your family today. Call 623-5344, serving all of southeastern New Mexico. Find them fast in names and numbers.
Being in the Army National Guard is about more than just serving your country. It's about being there for your community when your neighbors need you most. The Army National Guard makes college affordable. Serving part-time lets you attend school full-time while you take advantage of education benefits that can help you graduate debt-free. If a civilian career is your goal, serving part-time allows you to work at a full-time job. The skills, qualities, and contacts you'll develop in the Guard can open doors to a great civilian career. Want to serve but worried about being away from friends and family? Part-time service in the Army National Guard allows you to serve close to home. Serving in the Army National Guard lets you have the life you want while you enjoy the many benefits of serving your community and nation. You owe it to yourself to learn more about how the Army National Guard can fit into your life. Visit NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Alaska is the only state name that can be typed on one row of keys. Go ahead and try typing the other 49 states. We'll wait. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:58. Stay tuned next hour, about 8:15 or so. We're going to have Damon Graham join us, your local New York Life agent. And every time he joins us, we have a great conversation, really just talking about planning and get ready for the future. And it's really what he does. He helps individuals and families get you set up good for the future. That's what he does. So we're going to talk all about that with Damon next hour. Let's see. What else do I want to mention? Don't forget that coming up this, is it this weekend? It sure enough is this weekend. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is the annual Last Escape of Billy Kid pageant happening in the beautiful village of Lincoln, New Mexico. August 6th, 7th, and 8th. It's the annual pageant grounds with the Last Escape of Billy Kid. Highlights the weekend with live music and crafts and all kinds of stuff. Tickets to this year's pageant are $10 for adults. Kids 6 through 12 are $6, and children 5 and under are free. Pageant performances this year will be 8:30 p.m. Friday and Saturday night, the 6th and 7th, and then Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. Your tickets also include, your ticket price also includes a free concert on Friday and Saturday night. It'll be the Clay Mack Band from Deming. Sunday afternoon at 1:30 will be Susie Weber-Hildman and Olivia and Dan Hildman, and that'll be before each of the performances that night too. So again, it's a beautiful thing. It's just fun. It's great. It's awesome. The Last Escape of Billy Kid. I'll talk more about it this week. Don't worry. But it's happening this weekend. Put it on your calendars. All right. It's 8 o'clock. Time for Town Hall News. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Clocking in at some 2,700 pages, Senate bargainers have unveiled a massive $1 trillion infrastructure bill. Republican Senator Mike Lee of Utah saying it's an awful lot of money.
The fact that infrastructure is a good thing and that we need it is a different question from whether we can afford the infrastructure plan in this particular case.
But Senate Democrat leader Chuck Schumer argues that despite the enormous price tag, it is exactly what the country needs.
The bipartisan infrastructure bill is designed to bring our infrastructure up to date for a new century, and that is a significant achievement.
Senators could vote on the bill in a matter of days. If it's approved, could pave the way for the Democrats to pass an even larger $3.5 trillion plan, that bill being pushed by Senator Bernie Sanders. Afghanistan's president blaming the abrupt withdrawal of U.S. troops for the rapid advance of the Taliban in Afghanistan.
The speech by President Ashraf Ghani was clearly an attempt to rally the nation as Afghan forces struggled to beat back multiple Taliban offensives. In a joint statement, members of parliament expressed their firm support to the Afghan Republic and its constitution. There are fears that the militants are on the verge of taking Lashkar Gah, the capital of Helmand province. An official in Herat in the west said the militants had been pushed back from the gates of the city and a clearance operation was going on. Heavy clashes are also continuing in Kandahar in the south.
The BBC's Anbarasaneth Tharajan. She's back. American gymnastics superstar Simone Biles will compete in tomorrow's balance beam final at the Tokyo Olympics. Checking Wall Street now, the Dow up 172 points, the Nasdaq ahead 50, and the S&P trading 18 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
This summer, we all want to reconnect with friends and family, and the team at Legacy Box can help you make the most of your time together by enabling you to revisit classic memories while creating new ones. Legacy Box is an affordable way to have footage of family trips, weddings, and other milestones trapped on home movies and photos safely stored on a thumb drive, DVD, or the cloud. The process is remarkably simple. Just follow the guide from Legacy Box's all-inclusive kit, and their experienced team will create digital copies of your videotapes, film reels, and photos. Soon you'll have everything saved on the format of your choice, along with your originals. Imagine highlights from the past, digitally preserved and always ready to share, whether you're telling stories on the porch, relaxing by the pool, or gathering for a barbecue. Even better, Legacy Box is offering 50% off this week. Visit legacybox.com/lbox to take advantage of this limited time offer and ensure your past is always within reach. That's legacybox.com/lbox to save 50%. legacybox.com/lbox.
Wildfires forcing evacuation of dozens of villages in southern Turkey. 8 people have died in Turkey's worst wildfire crisis in a decade. The fires burning in forests near Turkey's beach destinations for a 6-day, and water-carrying planes from the EU preparing to join the fight.
More Turks and foreign tourists were evacuated from their homes and hotels on Sunday after a similar effort the previous day. And although Turkish authorities say most of the 112 forest fires are now under control, some have persisted. President Erdogan was criticized for dismantling an organization running firefighting planes and had to accept help from Russian aircraft. Fires fanned by strong winds are also raging elsewhere in the region.
That's a BBC's Anna Bizret. Chinese authorities announcing a huge jump in the death toll from recent flooding. A provincial government official says 302 people died, 50 still missing. News and analysis at townhall.com. Brushing aside some tough talk from its rival to the north, South Korea says it will keep pushing for closer ties and a resumption of talks with North Korea.
That statement comes despite North Korea's threat to rekindle animosities if Seoul continues with its upcoming military drills with the U.S. South Korea's defense ministry says the exact timing, size, and other details of these military drills this month are not yet fixed. South Korean and U.S. officials must work out these details.
That's correspondent Andrew Stewart. House Speaker Pelosi and House Democrat leaders calling on the Biden administration to immediately extend the nation's eviction moratorium. The Democrats calling it a moral imperative to prevent Americans from being put out of their homes during a COVID-19 surge. And once again on Wall Street this hour, the Dow is up 176 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number, and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. The travel witch, and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to our number 2
of the deuce
of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday. Welcome to it. If you're excited, good for you. If you're not, I understand.
I'm kind of digging the haze, the cloudiness.
Monday haze up in your brain.
It's like the sky above knows that it's back to school week.
Yeah, my wife was not the happiest of campers this morning or last night.
Oh,
but
sure.
That's all right. I figured at least they let you dip a toe for the teachers. Like, it's all welcome back stuff. So they go, but it's all virtual now. So, like, because usually the first day they have like a big gathering and they have the people speak, and now that's all virtual, which is probably about to get underway.
Right.
And then, like, I know one of the things, and I know this, it's a necessary evil, but boy howdies, it sounds stupid. Like, one of the things my wife's got done to do today is new copier training.
Oh boy! Hold on to your butts, everybody.
They allocate a whole half hour for that.
Well, the important things. These are the things that matter.
So yeah, at least it's not diving right into the madness. They give them a day for that, and then they hit them with all that.
I don't like that they put the camera on me over here. I thought I was hidden over here in the corner.
Nope, you cannot hide.
Go back to the single shot, Roy. This is wrong.
You cannot hide.
I was all happy. Didn't think I could sit over here and fiddle with my phone.
Hey, Roy, you produce the show. Don't listen to Sean.
Right.
Don't do you.
Hey,
just because he's
Roy.
not happy.
You're good people.
Zoom in right on his face.
Or that one blemish.
So he's back. Yeah. Look at that. He's trying to creep in.
He's like, he just remembered whose name's on the show. Top billing.
Now you're going to get a nice shot of Sean's nose hairs for the next 20 minutes.
This is quality radio, people.
Hey, it's Monday. It's
exactly.
It's the best you get on
this
a
is
Monday
all you
morning.
Get.
So
we pulled into the station.
That's right. Well, did you do anything exciting over the weekend?
I cleaned.
That sounds exciting.
It was incredibly exciting. No, I have to de-hunter my house every when the weekends I don't have the kids. So yeah, it's basically wipe the crayon off the walls, try to figure out where the cat's been hiding for the last 3 days, stuff like that.
All right. Sounds like a fun weekend.
Yes.
So this being the first week of school for the children, how involved are you? I mean, because this is your wife's week with the kids, right?
Yeah, and she starts on Wednesday, which pickup point has always been mom's house because it's
centrally located.
Well, it's where I have to drop on my weeks. It's where I have to drop them off before I come to work.
Gotcha.
So it just makes sense for her that to be the bus spot. She's pretty much ready. We've chatted with people. I'm hopefully going to be talking to her teacher sometime this week to finalize everything.
Okay.
We're as ready as can be.
Awesome.
Post-pandemic.
Are the kids excited? I imagine your
Rhiannon
daughter
is very excited. Yeah, she's very excited to get back to school.
Now, Hunter, is he doing pre-care, pre-Ks?
He won't be of age to be in preschool by the time his birthday is in October.
Oh, so he's just a hair short.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he'll start next year. Hopefully, we'll get him into a spring program, so he'll be maybe a little ahead.
Well, Hunter, if you're listening, enjoy this year now.
No.
Run wild, because it's all downhill from here, man. It's all downhill. Run
really
free, young man, while you've got this year of freedom left.
He's seen how Dad lives. He knows that. Generationally speaking, though, nobody in my family listens to me, so it's fine.
Well, go in the other room for a minute, and I'll tell him.
Sean, take a powder. I got to talk to your family.
We're going to have a little chit-chat.
There you go.
Well, good news is no one has to listen to my sound family advice. Damon Graham is here, and
right.
His advice is way better than mine.
Super sound.
So Damon Graham, your local New York Life agent, he's going to join us here in just a little bit. And every time Damon and I chit-chat, we always discuss really just the future. Mm-hmm. That's what we do.
Yeah.
We're going to predict. I'm just kidding.
Gaze into the crystal ball of the future.
Damon predicts we will have a new Prince song in 10 years.
Dude, have you not heard? No, have you not heard?
I guess I haven't.
I swear a new Prince album just dropped on Friday.
Of course it did.
No, he was working on an album from like 2011 that never came out. He went on tour based on for the album, but it never actually was released. This is all new Prince music that just came out. He just released there was a hit on a song that dropped last week called, I think, Summer Love or something, Summer Heat, Summer something. But yeah, new Prince, be dropping.
Well, there's a reason Prince didn't drop it when he made it.
The artist posthumously known as Prince.
Yeah, they always try to hit us with these, like, the dead artist. Here's new unreleased music from the dead artist.
I'll look that up.
Problem is there's a reason the dead artist didn't release it when he wasn't dead.
Yeah, it is kind of like...
Because it stunk.
Admittedly, the piece of the song that I heard, it's not great.
It's kind of like they did that mess with the Beatles. I'm like... Yeah, I get it. I know it's still the Beatles, but even their bad stuff's better than half the stuff. But still,
Hot Summer. Hang on.
It's the Vienna sausage of the artist's music catalog. That's all I'm saying.
In fairness, the Prince people are heavily litigious, so I'm going to be super careful in playing a piece of this.
That's why it didn't make it.
There you go.
Because that could easily be the opening show for some Blue's Clues cartoon or something on TV.
Well, it's some monotone dude hiding behind three other women who actually sing. So it's Prince in his later years, he probably didn't have it anymore,
Let's just take the advice of us old song. Let it be.
Oh. It's better to burn out than fade away.
Just let it be, man. Enjoy the Prince we do have and not try to resurrect some stuff that Prince didn't want us to see the light of day with. That's all I'm saying. Respect the man and say, you know what, there's a reason why he had this stuff in the back heapings next to the cans of Vienna sausage and all the other stuff.
Well, with all due respect, sir, you have to understand that the Prince family would like cheese on their Whoppers. All right? They need a little bit of that Skrilla.
Prince family can afford cheese.
Just saying, Funko ain't coming and knocking on the door for the Prince people to make pops.
That Prince gravy train got a lot of people a bunch of money. They need to get their own cheese.
Purple glittery gravy.
And Damon will show you how to get cheese.
There you go. Get that shit. Nice segue. Well played.
It is 8:13. I can get any better than that on a Monday. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We still have plenty of moist air coming in with the monsoon, and it looks like we've got a pretty good chance of showers and thunderstorms. Most of those will be this afternoon. Partly sunny, and our afternoon highs in the low to mid-80s. Just a few evening showers tonight, and then cloudy after midnight, our low in the upper 60s. And then tomorrow, another chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms, mid-80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 70 and overcast with haze. That's what they say. Overcast with haze. As opposed to just overcast or just haze. It's overcast and haze. If you're wondering, that looks like a little overcast and haze I see this morning. It is. You're right. Humidity is at 71%. Winds currently out of the north at 10 miles per hour. We do have a 30% chance of rain this afternoon. They're talking mainly after 3. Although I feel like the clouds aren't going to wait till 3, but that's what they're saying. Some of the storms could produce some heavy rain today, mostly cloudy, high of 85 with north winds at around 5 miles per hour. That's the happiest part of all that. Highs 85 today. That's a beautiful temperature. Tonight, we're looking at a 20% chance at showers and thunderstorms. Once again, some of these could produce some heavy rainfall. Partly cloudy with an overnight low of 68. And winds out of the south around 5 miles per hour. Tuesday, we're looking at a 40% chance at showers and thunderstorms. Once again, could see some heavy rainfall with those storms. Partly cloudy. High of 87 tomorrow with south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tuesday night, we're looking at a 20% chance at showers and thunderstorms. Overnight low of 68 with mostly cloudy skies. South winds 5 to 10. Then glance at the rest of the week. Wednesday, we're looking at a 30% chance at afternoon showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy and 85. And then looks like the rain's going to be wrapping up Wednesday night. And then Thursday, sunny, high of 88. Friday, sunny and 93. And then back up into the mid-90s for the weekend. 96 and sunny Saturday. A slight chance, 20% chance of rain on Sunday. Otherwise, mostly sunny and 95. All right, it is 8:15. We're going to take a 2-minute and 31-second break. 0.6, if you want to get real technical, 231.6. And then on the other side, Damon Graham, your local New York Life agent, will join us on the other side. Don't go away.
The 85th Annual Lee County Fair and PRCA Rodeo is coming July 30th through August 7th. Celebrating traditions we treasure. There's something for everyone waiting for you at this year's fair. Friday, July 30th is the Hispanic Heritage Celebration, then the Horse Show and Mutton Bustin' on Saturday. Don't miss the Lee County local team roping on Sunday, then the Swine Show on Tuesday with Extreme Bulls and concert featuring Mike Ryan on Tuesday night. Wednesday, don't miss the Fair and Rodeo Parade at 4, followed by another night of PRCA action at 7:30 and concert featuring Zach Williams at 9:30.
You got chains, he's a chain breaker.
Admission is only $10 for adults. Kids 6 to 12 are only $5, and kids 5 and under are free. With free admission to the fair on Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday. Get more info at leecounty.net. The 85th Annual Lee County Fair, celebrating traditions we treasure. July 30th through August 7th at the Lee County Fairgrounds in Lovington. See you there.
Celebrate the 80th anniversary of the last escape of Billy the Kid at Old Lincoln Days, Friday, August 6th through Sunday, August 8th in historic Lincoln, New Mexico. The annual folk pageant portrays Billy the Kid's last escape and the notorious Lincoln County War, complete with food vendors, live music, arts and crafts, a parade, and so much more. The 80th anniversary is extra special, with concerts every day included in the price of your ticket, featuring the Clay Mack Band on Friday and Saturday night, and Susie Weber Hildman with Olivia and Dan Hildman on Sunday afternoon. Admission is only $10 for adults. Kids 6 through 12 are $6, and kids 5 and under are free. Tickets are available at the gate beginning at 10 a.m. each morning. Get ready for this once-in-a-generation experience, the 80th anniversary of Old Lincoln Days and the last escape of Billy the Kid, August 6th through the 8th in historic Lincoln, New Mexico. Watch history come alive.
Western Farmers Electric Cooperative is the wholesale power provider for Central Valley Electric. As energy efficiency, environmental standards, and other aspects of the electric utility industry change, it is important that Western Farmers understands the energy needs for today and for the future of CVE residential customers. You can complete this short residential survey at the CVE headquarters in Artesia, on our website, cvecoop.org, on Facebook, on SmartHub, or complete and return the paper copy you received in the mail. Your input is valued and much needed. Thank you.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The Procrastinators Club of America newsletter is called Last Month's Newsletter. Their first newsletter should be released any day now. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 18 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in the studio this morning, your local New York Life agent, Damon Graham, back with us. Morning, Damon.
Good morning, Mike.
How are you doing today?
I am fabulous as always.
So let me ask you, because you're a dad. It's a busy week for you. How's the family and school and all that going down? You all pretty ready to go, or is it a kind of a nightmare right now?
No, actually, well, and I have to give props to my wife.
Yeah,
she takes the brunt of it. She's the one that's more or less anal retentive about that.
Gotcha.
Kind of thing.
She's the one, the taskmaster of making sure
exactly. And if I interject too much, it just
you mess with the flow.
Yeah,
I get you.
And she's excellent at it. And I mean, we've only got 2 left, and they're both in middle school, so it's kind of one of those hide and watch things.
Sure.
You never know what exactly the teachers are going to ask for. The supply list is either overbound or underbound.
Mm-hmm.
They you still need this, and this, and this, so you're making 4 different trips to the store to get extras.
Sure.
So we've over the years, after sending 6 others through, we've learned that send them the first day with a spiral notebook and a pen.
Sure.
Get actually what the teacher wants, and then we'll go make a mad dash, and hopefully Walmart has it.
Yeah, that's the mixed bag that is the school supply list. It's a generic list for everybody, and yeah, you get everything, you're probably covered. But what ends up most happening is you buy a bunch of stuff, and then maybe 60% of it's what you really need, and the rest is kind of, just nice to have that you may use once in the year, but more likely gets, depending on the age of your student, either gets crammed in the wall locker at the bottom or crammed to the back of the desk there.
Well, my wife was going through our school supply box, crate, and she comes up last night and she goes, well, the grandbabies have a lot of crayons left. Because we don't necessarily need crayons anymore, but I think we've got 16 boxes left.
Yeah. And then the other thing that happens, and that's usually the end of the school year, that's when you find all the coats that the kid had for the school year because they all come home.
Yeah. Or you find those and you look at it and go, that one wasn't yours.
Yeah, right.
Well, it looked like it. It's not.
Put that in the lost and found.
Exactly. Take it back on the last day, put it in the lost and found, and hopefully they can use it next year.
Yeah, absolutely. But I know that's the time of year, and your family, like everybody else right now, going through those things. So
it's good, though. But, I mean, it's just with everything up in the air.
Sure.
But you have to, I mean, if anything, last year taught us to be flexible.
Yeah. But I also,
to the point of breaking.
Yeah, exactly. You got to, because nothing seems set, especially when it comes to kids in school and education right now. There's nothing set in stone, really, other than, well, I guess the dates. That's pretty set in stone. I guess, but
maybe.
But we kind of. This is also one of those times of year where it is a transition period. This is, we're kind of going from that summer mindset to back to our year routine, in essence. That's kind of school kind of dictates that, and so I'm guessing, for what Damon does here in the world of New York life and things, this is probably one of those times a year where a lot of families sit down and think about this kind of stuff as well. It's like, oh, the kids are back to school. They're starting 4th grade. Maybe it's time for me to start thinking about college plans and things like that. And sometimes we get reminders of that because every time the kids go into a new grade, that man, they grow up so fast. You kind of, it's a reminder to us as a family that we need to get on the ball with some of this.
It really is, and Mike, it's kind of interesting because you can break the year out into different segments depending upon who you're talking to.
Yeah,
during the summer, I focus mostly on business type scenarios because they're round the clock.
Sure.
They're still focused. Whereas families during the summer, they're scatterbrained. They've got kids at home. They're on vacations. They're doing this. They're doing that.
Sure.
So you're right. Realistically, now kind of starts a short period of time, August, September, October, that, a lot of families start thinking about the planning mechanisms.
Mm-hmm.
What do we do for little Johnny as he's, are we looking at college funding? Do we think he's even going to go to college?
Sure.
And there's different paths that you can take depending upon, the scenario. I mean, so realistically, you're right. This time of year is a big hit for families to really start digging in and going, wow, we haven't done X, Y, and Z.
Sure.
We need to start looking at it.
I would imagine other than maybe the first of the year around tax time, people think about it. I would say other than that time of year, I think this time of year is probably like a busy season as far as people and families it's just the life cycle, and it's that area. And it's because, let's face it, kids are going to school, kids, the dreams are talking about the kids, you kind of, they're getting exposed to new things. They're starting to go into that path towards adults. And then you're thinking, oh yeah, we got to get that ready for them. And because when they turn 17, 18, when they graduate high school here, what's next? And like you said, there's so many options. I would say, let's face it. When all parents are probably hoping when their kids are in elementary school, saying that they've got a plan for a future for college or some kind of thing like that. But college is such a different direction nowadays. I mean, yes, you have your 4-year traditional, go get your degree, and that's still very probably the main way people do things. But people go to trade school. People go to specialized schools or specialized extracurricular vocational. None of it is free.
No.
So regardless if you have a child that plans to go to Harvard or plans to go to the vocational tech school, none of it's free. And you as a parent want to help your child be whatever path they go. They've got the money and the direction, all the things they need to go to follow that dream. And that's so, like you said, you're kind of like, you don't know college or what, but almost every child's got to have some kind of extracurricular activity to.
It's interesting, Mike. It's like in talking to employers and parents and everything. We skipped a generation of trade schools, and now we're coming up short on people that actually know trades. There for the longest time, everybody pushed 4-year education. So everybody went and got their degrees. Well, then once they got out into the workplace, they realized all the degree positions are filled.
It's supply and demand, just like anything else. You want to be a lawyer, great, but if everyone else wants to be a lawyer, there's only so many lawyers we can have there.
And it doesn't matter which direction you go, or if you've got a degree and now you're going back to learn your trade or whatever it is, it all costs money.
Absolutely.
And I've got 2 in college right now, and different aspects. We've got I've got my senior that just graduated from Roswell High, and he's going out to ENMU and ENMUR, sorry. And he's figuring out what he needs to do to qualify for different scholarships and everything. So that way, when he goes on to finish his degree, he still has his lottery scholarship and all that.
Sure.
Well,
he hasn't tapped into all his resources
exactly.
yet. Yeah.
And then I've got my other one who finished up at NIMI, and now he's going to finish his bachelor's at in Portales.
Nice.
And different avenues there. What does he need to do to try to maintain lottery scholarship there and make sure, because finances are huge.
Absolutely. And of course that's another person in another conversation, but if you've got family that's going to school, there's lots of scholarship money out there. The first thing you and your family need to be doing is beating down the financial aid office at the institution you're going at and file and apply for every obscure scholarship out there, because there's millions of dollars every year that goes unclaimed because people don't know that kind of stuff. And I know that's another conversation for another thing, but we're in that world. Go talk to those financial aid offices and get all the free money you can.
Certainly.
Why not?
Yeah. And you have to beat your children over the head.
Yes.
In most instances, to stay on them, because it's not just going to fall in their lap.
Absolutely.
They have to be proactive, but it gives a great opportunity, a great learning thing for them to take it upon themselves to go out and seek that out.
Absolutely. Speaking of funding and education thing, and that's something you and I have talked about 100 times with what we should do, but what most of us don't do or aren't the same things. But to be honest, if you're that young couple starting out, and I know you're just graduating college yourself, you're like, I'm not saving for college. What are you talking about?
Right.
I'm telling you, even before the kid's born, sometimes if you found the one, your spouse that that's the one you're going to have your family with, it's easy now. You could just easily set up something where you're throwing $5, $10, $30 a month over the thing here and letting that build or whatever. And Damon can talk about the different specifics and all that. I'm just giving you a generalized idea on this.
And there's several different paths that you can go.
Yeah.
Depending upon if you're market based or if you're not. Depending upon the risk structure of you yourself, and especially getting started early.
Yeah.
You can start a market-based type at 529 plan that really, gives the opportunity for grandparents, great-grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, siblings, whoever can all be set up to fund that plan.
Turn it into a big pool area.
Exactly.
And then birthday checks and what have you go right into that thing. And next thing you know, who knows, by the time the kid's old enough and able enough to go to college, there might be $100,000 or two sitting there ready for them to do that.
There can be.
Yeah.
Especially when you stop and figure, well, the grandparents, the toys that you normally buy that break within, a week's time, take half of that or the entire thing and buy them something small and then say, hey, later on they'll realize that you're dropping that money into an account.
Sure.
And believe me, they may not like that you're not giving them a toy, but when they're going to college and can leave college without a loan.
Yeah. Well, just look at this. How many high salaried positions that young people have right now, and I'm talking doctors, lawyers, and things, and they're paying huge percentages of their current income in student loans because they didn't have this. So, yeah, you're thinking, well, shoot, you're on easy street now. You're a doctor. You're a lawyer. Well, no, you're not. They're broke too. Just because they make a lot of money doesn't mean they have a lot of money.
It's all cash flow. I mean, it's like every day, living paycheck to paycheck or having enough in reserve that you can have a little bit of extra.
Yeah.
But it's the same scenario. They went to school an extra 8 years to get that degree, and each one of those years has a huge price tag.
Absolutely.
So they may be living paycheck to paycheck just like you're living paycheck to paycheck. But it all comes down to how you use and how you budget and how you plan those dollars to make sure that you get the biggest bang for your buck.
Yeah, absolutely. And doing this smart planning for your kids now can save them that headache. So when they do get their degree or go in their career path they're focusing on, they're planning on their next step, like getting their house, getting their family together, saving for your grandkids' college, and not paying off their student loans and paying off. And next thing you know, they hit 40 and they're like, all right, now I'm ready to start saving for my kid.
Right.
I just paid off all of mine. And that's the world we live in now. We got people that they're not thinking about this stuff till later because they're too busy spending the first 10 years of their work experience paying off all their college loans and fees they occurred because they weren't, families weren't smart about planning that when they were young.
And Mike, one of the things that, it surprises me is young families or middle-aged families, whatever it is, even if they're living paycheck to paycheck, they've got it in their brain that I can't do anything more. And that can't be furthest from the truth, because if you realistically, most of our bill paying and everything is habits.
Yeah.
And if we don't, and one of the things that I do with most of my clients, just because it's just a series and a process that we go through, is looking at their budget and figuring out, well, is there something that we can curb, something we can change to make those dollars available?
Absolutely. And it's small budgetary stuff. It's like you said, we're habitual, but I also feel like we turn our brains into things we know we need, we think we need to have, but we really don't. And it's really, sometimes it's just looking at your budget and seeing what you're spending, and you're looking. I know coffee's the one everyone talks about because it's god awful expensive to buy a cup of coffee that's not from your house.
Right.
And then you look and you're like, you just spent $100 a week on coffee. What could you done with that $100 and just bought a thing of Folgers and made it at your house here or something? I mean, that's the kind of stuff you could. And I know people are like, but I gotta have my. It's like, yeah, you think you do.
You think you do.
But what what you rather? Would you rather drink your plain old 30-cent cup of coffee every day and be fine with that, and then have your kid, being successful and everything? And I know the joke's going. It's like, what happens when you get older? You taking care of? Maybe that kid's your retirement.
Well,
that's what we're talking about. Do you need that cup of coffee now?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And one of the things that misconception is, if I can't do anything more. Well, if you're not doing anything, at a bare minimum, protect your family.
Yeah.
I mean, you may not be able to put money aside for their college. You may not be able to put money aside for this or that, but at a bare minimum, putting a safety net, a life insurance policy in place to make sure that, okay, just think, if you're the breadwinner and all of a sudden your income is gone, where does that put your spouse and your children?
Yeah.
I mean, they may be out on the streets. They may be selling their home to get the equity out of it to try to survive, and that means they have to move into an apartment out of the school district that they're normally in. So now they're going to a different school, all those different things. So the planning mechanism boils down to what you can do now to better your life or theirs in the future.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's and to be honest, that's what you do for a living. That's your job in a nutshell. It's you always see things on like social media. It's like, describe your job in one sentence without using your job title. That would be kind of yours. Yeah. It's just hey, I'm the guy that's saying you have enough money now to make sure you're good in the future. And I know and here's the problem is when we're young, when we're all in our 20s and everything, and we got our whole life ahead of us, we feel indestructible. Like, oh, I can work. I'll be fine. If this blows up, I'll just get another job. Well, as you get later in your 20s, you start getting into your 30s, you have a kid, you start that starts changing. And then at some point you're not young anymore, and you just can't go and switch jobs because you're not as viable as you once were when you were 20 versus when you were 30s. And it's a cost of doing business. It's just businesses out there, there ain't a lot of 50-year-olds starting a new career. I'm just saying because it's really hard for someone to do that at that age. I mean, I'm not saying it's possible. It is. It's possible. But that's not the path most companies aren't looking to hire a 50-year-old because what kind of investment are they getting? They're paying top dollar for something they're only going to get for a few short years, and they'd rather spend less money on a 20-year-old and have them for 20 years.
Exactly.
That's how they think. So you've got to think like that yourself, and that's where Damon comes in and says, let's face it, when you're 50, the last thing you want to be doing is bucking and fighting for another job. You're going to be thinking about my times. I'm thinking about pina coladas and beaches and things like that. That's what you're starting thinking about,
Well, and 50 slapped me last year.
Yeah, and I'm right there. I'll be 50 real quick, and I'm right behind you on that. And it's not old no more. But when you're 20, you're thinking by you're 50, you're going to be, what am I doing now? I'm tea times and all that.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, I've had a couple of couples come in and they sit down and they talk. Well, we're planning on retiring by 50, 55, and I'm like,
better
wow,
get started.
Yeah, I mean that's great. That's ambitious. And then that even brings in more planning and thought process because most people are putting off retirement until they hit 65 at a minimum, so that way they're eligible for Medicare.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because anytime before that, medical insurance, health insurance is so expensive.
That's true.
That when you try to retire and you still have $1,000 a month health insurance, that cuts into the budget quite a bit.
Absolutely. My in-laws, my father-in-law, and they owned their own CPA business for years. They had a long, and they retired the business a couple years ago, and it was a couple years shy of them hitting Medicare age and things like that. And they were so happy because they were paying for it out of pocket and everything else. They could afford to do it. They planned. They're smart. He's an accountant. Usually, not a lot of broke accountants out there that are pretty good, but that's just a type. Don't go to an accountant that's broke. That's one of that's one of those just old wise or just sage advice. He's probably not going to help you out if he's broke themselves. But anyway, but yeah, when he was, I swear, when they got old enough to hit Medicare, you would have thought they had a little party.
They hit the lottery.
Yeah, because next thing you know, they were getting all kind of procedures done that they were waiting to do.
Well, when you stop and figure, when you can
it makes sense.
If you're paying $1,000 a month for health care, and then all of a sudden, it's cut by 2/3.
Sure.
Yeah, you just won the lottery.
Yeah, absolutely.
You gave yourself, an $800 a month raise.
Yeah.
So you've got a lot of more expendable income.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that go into making sure that plan lasts as long as you need it to. And the biggest concern of retirees, which the majority of the baby boomers, the tail end of the baby boomers are hitting it right now. Their biggest concern right now is outliving their money, and that's scary. Just whenever I started in the industry 12 years ago, the rule of thumb was, you could pull 4 to 5% out of your nest egg and not outlive your money. That number's dropped below 3.
Wow.
So if you figure if you've got $1 million sitting in your interest-bearing account, you can pull out $30,000 a year and be pretty safe on not outliving your money. But you stop and figure $30,000 is not.
That's not a lot to live off.
No, it's not.
It's not.
Unless you've got all your bills taken care of.
If your house is paid for.
House is paid for, cars are paid for, nothing major is coming around the corner. But then you got to stop and figure. You've got, at that age, that's when major health issues come about. That's when, and surprisingly enough, a lot of retiring elderly couples are selling their home and buying a condo, and now they've got a 30-year mortgage. And realistically, you kind of shake your head and go, why in the world would anybody sell a 70-year-old a 30-year mortgage?
Yeah.
But, with longevity, and you figure, well, the bank's looking at it. If they die, I get to repo it.
Yeah.
And I've had, money paid on it all these years.
They're going to get their money regardless. Yeah. Yeah. See, I was smart. I bought the condo in my 40s, and I'm going to live in it until...
There you go.
By the time I'm old, it's paid for.
There you go. Without a doubt. I mean, the old mantra still stands. If you can if you can buy it early, pay it off before you retire, and that's the house you're going to stay in.
Sure. That's our plan.
Yeah. I mean, it's great, but there's a lot of people out there that are, once they retire, now they're getting a 30-year mortgage on a new home.
Yeah. Now, my wife and I don't have kids, so that's a whole different conversation. What my wife and I can do versus what a family of 4 can do is not the same thing, and I understand that.
True. Because without kids, then you don't have the aspect of grandkids.
Yeah, exactly. I got no one that's going to take care of me when I die because I burned all those bridges. I'm just kidding.
But you know what? That lends to a whole nother aspect of long-term care insurance.
Sure. What's going to happen there?
Because if you don't have the kids or grandkids that are willing to take care of you, which, by the way, most of them aren't.
Yeah.
So the parents that are delusional thinking, yes, my long-term care plan is my children. Yeah, you better talk it over with them first.
Yeah.
But if you don't have that plan, then putting long-term care insurance in place is pivotal to making sure that your financial longevity lasts.
And I will tell you from firsthand experience, long-term care is even if it's independent living, without all the medical, is very expensive per month. It's more than your mortgage. I'm very much sure than what you're paying right now. Odds are pretty good. It's probably more than what unless you're paying like $3,000 a month for mortgage fees.
Yeah.
That's I think we were paying $1,500. It was under 2, but it was a lot a month. I don't remember the exact number, and that was just staying. Now, granted, there's some expenses. She need a car no more. She needed she could go grocery. But my wife and I were joking about that because when we were having her there, and I'm like, how old do you have to be to move in here? It's like they do your laundry once a week. They clean it once. I just walk down here and give food, and then the rest I could leave and come and go as I please and do. This ain't a bad gig here. I'm kind of,
No.
We're thinking about it. We're like, we get 50. We're just going to live here and let them cook and clean for us, and then we'll go shopping and do our thing with me.
There you go.
But again, it's going to cost like $2,000 a month for that kind of service.
Right. And that's on the cheap side.
Yeah. And this was years ago. I'm sure it's gone up.
Now, and the price is increasing, and especially with long-term care, when you look at the statistics, it's outrageous that 3 out of 4 people over the age of 65 are going to require some type of long-term care.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you stop and figure the cost of that, and it's sad when you stop and think that one of the plans that some people have is divorce.
Yeah, that's a plan.
That's a plan, because
Interesting.
if one of the individuals goes into a long-term care situation and they are using up all the assets that are within the estate,
draining down the other one, they leave the spouse with nothing. So halfway through, one of the common plans is divorce each other. The healthy spouse takes all the assets. The unhealthy spouse is left basically indigent and qualifies for Medicaid. So that way the other spouse at least has something to continue retirement on. Yeah.
But then the downside of Medicaid is they determine where you receive your care.
I was about to say, I think that would be a last-ditch option. Like there's not much hope for getting this person back to healthy status again.
Yeah. But when you stop and figure, if the healthy spouse is left with absolutely nothing in retirement, I mean, they have to sell the home. They have to,
I know if I was me and I was in that situation and I'm the one in the hospital bed, I'd say, divorce me to protect you. I would do that in a heartbeat to do that for my wife, if that's where we were at in that world.
But crawl into her head, Mike.
I know.
Is she going to say, yes, I'll divorce you,
No,
the love
she
of
would.
my life that I've been with for umpteen years, and now you're going to say, I'm divorcing you?
Yeah.
No, that doesn't roll off their lips quite that easy.
You're right. But in my head, I'm like, to protect
exactly.
I would,
but, logically speaking, you're going, that's a great option. But emotion comes into play, and you go, no, that's not.
Yeah, and then when you're no longer together, one's passed on, how do you explain that one in the legalities and all that stuff? It's like you're married. No, they were married for 30 years, and then they divorced in the last year of their marriage.
Right.
That's a weird.
So you mitigate that by sitting down with me and talking about long-term care options.
Exactly. They don't have to worry about who's divorcing who here in 30 years. So, Yeah, just all the time. So we probably need to wrap this up. But this is the point we're talking about here. This is we want to put the bee in your bonnet and think about this thing. I know obviously back to school time's kind of one of those periods of transition, but regardless of where you're at with your family, whether it's a brand new family or you've got the kids and raising them, or maybe you're on that other side. The kids are gone through college. You're looking to do now what Damon can sit down and talk with you about this kind of stuff. Obviously, the earlier the better for any kind of planning. The younger you are, the more time you have to get your affairs in order or decide the path you want to go down. But excuse me, the earlier you do it, the more flexibility that gives you too. That's because let's face it, life happens. You have whims in life, and you're like, I want to be a spelunker now or something, and those things happen. But with a little planning, you can financially make for those things to happen.
Make sure you've got your life insurance before you go spelunking.
Probably,
because not only it gives you that sense of that ability to think, okay, if I don't come home, everything's taken care of. Yeah. But also, it's cheaper beforehand.
This is true. Yeah. The extreme sports guy is probably paying more in insurance than the one who isn't.
Definitely so. So if that's ever an inkling or skydiving or anything like that, make sure you plan ahead.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. That's what I'm sure those Richard Bransons and those guys do back when they were. Because he was kind of a risk taker back when he was younger, if I remember right.
I think so. And so he still is. I mean, you figure he's bouncing around in space for 10 seconds.
Now he's got more money to do things with more. Before, he's sitting out there bungee jumping and doing stuff that billionaires shouldn't be doing. But anyway.
Exactly.
But if you want to have that problem where your people are telling you got too much money to be doing that kind of dumb stuff, Damon can help you get there.
Let's hope so. Yeah, there you go.
That might be the slogan.
You have to have the inputs, though.
Yeah, this is true. Maybe that's your slogan. I can get you rich enough where people tell you to stop doing dumb stuff.
There you go. That works.
But you can call Damon. You can call his office direct, 575-623-0803, or you can call him on the cell, 575-626-4298. What's probably your best way to is calling you or
calling? Yeah, definitely.
Of course, you have your Facebook. You can look under Damon Graham New York Life. I have a link for Facebook and all that as well. You can go to websites as well too. This is or email ddgraham@ft.newyorklife.com, which no one will remember. Just call. Just call Damon.
It's easier that way.
Yeah, 575-626-4298. That's the cell, or leave if he's not in the office, like right now, he's obviously not in the office. 575-623-0803.
That's it.
Awesome. Well, thank you, sir. As always, appreciate the visit, and thanks for working with me there. I know I got convoluted last week, and things got moved around. And
hey, for good reason.
This is true.
It was a good talk.
This is
I
true.
listened to it definitely.
Yeah, we had. Anytime I get like politicians or people that are not from here, I'm at the whim of their schedules.
Well, and you were able to have back-to-back Thursday, Friday with ENMU?
Yeah, that's true.
So
yeah, that was cool. Paul Weir's that was kind of a neat conversation with him. So, and they're doing a lot of stuff up there. I get it. That's inside baseball. I don't think I was supposed to talk to the coach that much. I kind of gave them dates and they just took them all. So.
Hey, it is what it is.
They're fun conversations, though. I enjoy talking to the coach. So awesome. Well, Damon, as always, appreciate it. And
thank you.
We'll see you next time.
Definitely. Thanks,
Don't work
Mike.
too hard. And good luck with back to school week.
Appreciate it.
Maybe you get some golf time this week. Be like, oh, you gotta go hit the links.
I doubt it. Anything's possible, though.
Anything is possible.
Yep.
All right, it's 8:49. Let's get you up to date with local news, weather, and your town hall business update. Quick break as well. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Just a reminder, don't forget the Roswell Police Department and Roswell Fire Department are inviting all of us to join them at National Night Out on Tuesday. The event will be held at the Roswell Convention Center parking lots from 5 to 9 p.m. The Chavez County Sheriff's Office, Dexter Police, Hagerman Police, and New Mexico State Police will all be there, planning to be a part of the annual event. Also taking part, the American Medical Response, Care Flight, New Mexico Department of Game and Fish, and the State Department of Health. There will be lots of fun activities, even an appearance by McCruff the Crime Dog. who will make an appearance, and there will also be a couple of jolly jumps for the kids to enjoy. Meanwhile, the event will feature free hot dogs and drinks, as well as free pizza provided by Domino's. In addition, school supplies will be given away while supplies last. These school supplies are for kids in kindergarten through high school. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We still have plenty of moist air coming in with the monsoon, and it looks like we've got a pretty good chance of showers and thunderstorms. Most of those will be this afternoon. Partly sunny, and our afternoon highs in the low to mid-80s. Just a few evening showers tonight, and then cloudy after midnight, our low in the upper 60s. And then tomorrow, another chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms, mid-80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander. Demand for fuel is going up, and so are the profits for ExxonMobil. Exxon reported Friday that it earned $4.69 billion in the April to June quarter, after reporting a loss in the same period last year during the mass shutdowns intended to limit the spread of the coronavirus. Wages and salaries rose at a healthy pace in the 3 months ending in June, as employers competed to find enough workers to fill millions of available jobs. Pay increased 1% in the second quarter for workers in the private sector. That's down slightly from 1.1% in the first 3 months of the year. On Wall Street, the Dow lost 149 points to close at 34,935. The Nasdaq down 105 to 14,672, and the S&P 500 dropped 23 to 4,395. With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Talk about local color. Your trees are supposed to be green, not yellow. Hello, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. While we've been talking about our colorful geraniums, I've been noticing a lot of yellow trees around town, particularly those globe willows. It may come as a shock to you, but those trees are supposed to be green. If you have yellow trees, come see us at Roswell Seed Company. We have a fix that's fast and easy and doesn't cost very much. Remember, it's okay to have yellow flowers, but not yellow trees.
This is a nasty little termite. It loves nothing better than to eat your house, your subfloors, your walls, around your windows, and then they swarm around taunting you.
We're eating your house. We're eating your house.
You'd like to kill them, wouldn't you? But you don't want trenches dug around your home, and you don't want holes in your foundation. That's where Dow AgroSciences and the Centricon Termite Colony Elimination System come to the rescue. The same system that protects the White House can help protect your house. An authorized operator strategically places Centricon stations around your house and then carefully monitors them for termites. If they're found, a professional inserts bait tube devices. The termites take the bait and they die.
I feel like I'm dying.
Kind of like that, only a lot more effective. In fact, Centricon is proven to eliminate the termite colony. Termites are gone with Centricon. No more colony, no more problem. Visit Centricon.com.
Call Bob Reed Pest Control today in Roswell, 623-5344, or anywhere in southeast New Mexico at 877-623-5344.
Being in the Army National Guard is about more than just serving your country. It's about being there for your community when your neighbors need you most. The Army National Guard makes college affordable. Serving part-time lets you attend school full-time while you take advantage of education benefits that can help you graduate debt-free. If a civilian career is your goal, serving part-time allows you to work at a full-time job. The skills, qualities, and contacts you'll develop in the Guard can open doors to a great civilian career. Want to serve but worried about being away from friends and family? Part-time service in the Army National Guard allows you to serve close to home. Serving in the Army National Guard lets you have the life you want while you enjoy the many benefits of serving your community and nation. You owe it to yourself to learn more about how the Army National Guard can fit into your life. Visit NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Movie trailers were originally shown after the movie, which is why they're called trailers. Mike thought they named them after the mobile home. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:55. Stay tuned next hour, about 9:15 or so. We're going to play our interview we had with ladies from the Roswell Public Library last week, talking about back to school programs and all the stuff that they're going to be having once the kids go back to school, and just resources available. As it was about a week ago, so we kind of wrap up the summer reading program and all that. But some good information there, especially with the kids heading back to school this week, different opportunities and things like that. So I thought it'd be a good time to play that. So we're going to play that next hour. Also, don't forget that this Saturday, August 7th, is the Chaves County Health Expo 2021, put on by the Chaves County Health Council. This is the third annual Chaves County Health Expo. It's going to be a hybrid event this year. You're going to have, so there's going to be in-person stuff at two different locations. They'll have drive-through and in-person booths and events at the Domes on Saturday, at the Chaves County Courthouse lawn, and then also outdoors at the Chaves County Admin Building at 1 St. Mary's Place there on the south end. They're going to have booths and events at both of those locations. They will also have virtual videos and things for you to watch on the Chaves County Health Council's Facebook and YouTube channels. Just go to those different platforms and type in Chaves County Health Council, and it'll you'll find it all there. It'll be this Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon, and if you go to the Chaves County Health Council's Facebook page, you can learn more about it. If I'm not sure if they're still looking for sponsors and booth things, but you can leave a message to the Chaves County Health Council if you just are hearing about it and like, oh, yeah, I want to get in on that, and you can ask them and talk to them about it. But mark it on your calendars this Saturday, August 7th, Chaves County Health Council from 9 a.m. to noon at the Domes, Chaves County Courthouse lawn, also the Chaves County Admin Building, the two green domes there, and then also online at the Chaves County Health Council's Facebook and YouTube channels. So don't miss out there. Also, don't forget that Loveless, of course, with back to school and all of that going on, if your child needs a sports physical, the folks at Loveless are offering a $30 basically copay to schedule, because like back to school physicals, the annual physical, all that's covered under insurance, but the sports physicals a lot of times aren't covered by insurance. So basically they're saying, well, you give us the copay, $30, and they'll do the sports physical for you for free basically. Well, $30. But anyway, call and get with Loveless, and Dr. Webb and her staff and everybody can get those sports physicals ready for you. Again, just for that $30 copay. But go through Loveless and get that set up, get all that done. Also, don't forget, you got basically one more day tomorrow. The Roswell Police Department's got their back-to-school drive where they're collecting school supplies for local students. The last day that they're collecting stuff will be tomorrow, August 3rd. So if you've got school supplies that you'd like to donate, you need to drop them off to the Roswell Police Department by tomorrow, 128 West 2nd. If you'd still like to help out and get involved, you can go out and do some shopping. The items they're looking for include spiral notebooks, the wide-ruled kind, notebook paper, also the wide-ruled kind, plastic folders, the ones with the pockets and the brads, pencil top erasers, composition notebooks, those black and white books. I think they come in other colors, but mostly black and white. Washable markers, red, blue, and black pens, number 2 pencils, glue sticks, large erasers, scissors, crayons, colored pencils, backpacks, rulers, markers, even facial tissue like your Kleenex and what have you, and hand sanitizers. Those are things that they collect all the time anyway. But again, if you'd like to help out, drop off those items to the Roswell Police Department. Again, 128 West 2nd. They're collecting school supplies. Last day they're collecting is tomorrow, August 3rd. So you can drop them off today and tomorrow, and then they'll make sure they get out to the local area students and all of that good stuff. So another great way folks can get involved. So go hit the stores today and pick up some extra school supplies if you're doing some for your kids. Pick up some for others and drop them off there at the police station. All right, it is closing in on 9 o'clock. Town Hall News up next. We'll be back on the other side. Do not go away.
Bill Cunningham is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. It is a 2,700-page book. Comes with a $1 trillion price tag. The bipartisan infrastructure bill produced by a team of Democratic and Republican negotiators in the Senate. Despite the enormous size of the proposal, Senate Majority Leader Schumer says a vote could come in a matter of days. If it's approved, it would open the door to a Democrat-only proposal that's even larger, a $3.5 trillion plan championed by Senator Bernie Sanders. To vaccinate or not, the debate rages on.
Dr. Anthony Fauci offered this outlook on ABC's This Week.
We're looking not, I believe, to lockdown, but we're looking to some pain and suffering in the future because we're seeing the cases go up.
Fauci says vaccination is the key to getting the nation back to normal, but notes 100 million eligible Americans have not gotten a shot.
The unvaccinated, by not being vaccinated, are allowing the propagation and the spread of the outbreak, which ultimately impacts everyone.
South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster tells Fox News Sunday he's been vaccinated and is encouraging others to do the same, but he won't be mandating it or the wearing of masks.
We will trust the people to do the right thing.
Currently, the CDC reports 58% of Americans 12 and older are fully vaccinated. Ben Thomas, Washington.
Controversy at the Tokyo Olympics. A female sprinter from Belarus alleges that officials tried to force her to return to her homeland, where she fears for her safety. Runner Kristina Shimanovskaya got into trouble after criticizing management of her team. Shimanovskaya reportedly planning to seek asylum in a third country, possibly Poland or Austria. Watching Wall Street this hour, stocks are higher. The Dow's up 117 points, the Nasdaq ahead 74, and the S&P 16 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Let's be boring and do a commercial about cash-out refinances. It's Ryan, and our mortgage team will often have a listener say, I think I understand what a cash-out refinance is, but can't that be bad for you sometimes? So let's hit on that. As with anything, it's certainly not the right move for everyone. If we don't have to, we don't want to add a bunch of years onto our loan, or increase our monthly payment too much, or pay more in the long run. But because home values have skyrocketed so far up the last few years, while rates have come so far down, we've seen many scenarios where listeners today can pull out a significant chunk of money from the new value in their home, while lowering the years on the overall loan, while lowering their monthly payment, and lowering how much they ultimately pay. The key is to just look at the whole picture and be honest with yourself about your situation. If you're looking for someone to show you your options, we are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Melville Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
Britain plans to offer a range of incentives aimed at encouraging young people to get vaccinated against COVID-19. Food delivery and ride-hailing services will be offering deep discounts.
It's clear that there is concern in government about the uptake among young people. 2/3 of 18 to 29-year-olds have had their first jab compared to 88.4% of the wider adult population. Now, it's, I suppose, obvious that that might have happened because there's less of an incentive, you could argue, for younger people because they're less at risk to the virus. But, of course, in terms of us returning to some level of normality, preventing transmission of the virus, then we need as many people as possible to get the vaccine.
The BBC's Peter Su. South Korea vowing to keep pushing to improve ties and resume talks with rival North Korea, despite the North's threat to rekindle animosities if Seoul holds its summertime military drills with the United States. News and analysis at townhall.com. Digital payments company Square agrees to acquire Afterpay, which provides a buy now, pay later option for merchants.
Square says it will pay about $27 million for all of the Australian company's shares. Square allows retailers to process credit card transactions using devices that plug into tablets or smartphones. The San Francisco-based company expects to close the deal in early 2022 with plans to integrate Afterpay into its services, enabling merchants to offer customers the option to pay for goods without relying on a credit or debit card. Rhonda Rockster reporting.
The Afghan president blames a quick pullout of U.S. troops for the intensified violence all across his country. Ashraf Ghani says his administration now focusing on protecting provincial capitals, cities, and major urban areas in the face of a Taliban onslaught. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What? a wide, wide world of sports is going on here.
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Ringing through it, flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ, the travelist, and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to our number 3.
Tres Inviernos.
See, this would have been the time.
Right?
I should have hit you with the trace.
Here? I know.
I should have hit you with the trace.
Here. Okay.
That's our game we played for years now.
So when I first started here, because our number 2 here is the Deuce, I decided that our number 3 also needed a name. So we decided that our number 3 would be 3 Winters or Tres Inviernos. But
invierno.
Every now and again, Mike will sneak in a tres, and if he does, that's when I have to say 3 Winters. I have to be paying such close attention to what he says.
Winters.
And he's only gotten me one time. But it was glorious when he got me.
Okay, this is going to be funny to watch.
We've been doing this for years. This is our own personal game that we've been doing. And I've only hit him once on the air with it. And it was an absolute god-awful time. Yeah. I think his whole world was crumbling, and I just happened to hit him with it. Because I'm such a jerk.
It was pretty easy,
No, you are not.
Looking back, it was pretty funny, admittedly.
That's all I'm going for. Yeah,
at
the time, you probably hate me, but years later, you're like, that was good.
All right.
Have to admit.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, so that's been our game. We just do that. Today would have been a day I should have said Trace. Our number Trace.
I was waiting for Vita to correct me and tell me I was saying it wrong.
Tres inviernos.
Yes.
Okay,
correct?
así es.
Sí?
Sí, así es.
Okay. Sí, así es.
Can you say that? Tres inviernos.
Tres inviernos, yes.
¿Sí? ¿Tres inviernos?
Sí, tres inviernos. This is just going to be a whole hour of this.
Yeah, because you're saying 3 hills.
Oh, I thought
instead of 3 winters.
What is winters? Because I looked it up online. That's
inviernos, not infiernos.
Invierno.
Yeah, invierno with a V. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Okay, I'm sorry. I heard invierno.
Inviernos?
Invierno with a V, yeah.
That's winter.
But what?
Yeah.
So
infierno with the F is hell.
Oh, with an F.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Wow. So winter and hell are that close to each other?
Yeah.
So what do you like if you're
in Spanish?
If you're writing like winter's hell, what would that be?
El infierno del invierno.
Dang.
It rhymes.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does.
I feel like that could be on a t-shirt.
It should be.
You know, talking about that, I was checking on something yesterday. We were talking about wave. Wave, which is hola. You can say hola in Spanish. But if you take off the H in hola, it's a wave.
Oh, like a
wave
like
from
the
ocean wave. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's pretty weird. So wave and wave are different things in English.
Well, in Spanish, that's a lot. There's a lot of same words that are English that have different meanings that aren't 2 different words altogether in Spanish.
But in this sense, wave has 2 meanings, which is actually the same 2 meanings in Spanish.
Okay.
Without the H.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hola without the H is a wave.
Okay.
There's a wave.
And
so
hola with the H is like you are waving hola.
So if you misheard, you could either talk about waving or
waving, exactly.
Catch the
so
waves.
we are making signals here with the hands, the waving and the waving.
I think what we're trying to say is that we should no longer wave like this. Now from now it's hey, what's up, Bill?
I gotta do that.
You're gonna say,
how you doing?
Hey,
John, keep it real.
You're
I feel like they're already doing that in the 60s. Like in the 70s. Like that was something.
Hey
man, how you doing? Good, man. Right the wave, man.
Well, if you're of a certain generation, my generation, you know this is rolling with the homies.
Oh yeah, there was rolling with the homies. Yeah, that was for a small
for
time.
real, 1995 cruise.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't grow up here, so I don't know. Back there in Mexico will be, hey, ¿qué onda? ¿Cómo has estado?
Ah, bien, ¿y tú?
Something like that, yeah.
That's about as far as I can get.
Trace Inviernos.
Infierno or invierno.
I've said it several times. I took Spanish up to Spanish 2, but my Spanish 2 teacher had two very large assets that made it to where I did not pay any attention whatsoever to what she was saying.
I took 3 years in high school, but Spanish 2 was just pretty much a waste because I'm sure this teacher is no longer with us. She was very elderly at the time. She was very bright when she was not old. Problem was she got old.
A couple bulbs went out.
The cheese was slipping off the cracker.
Gotcha.
She was she spoke 4 languages and she spoke them all in Spanish class. And sometimes she'd be hitting us with German.
Oh wow!
And we're like, "This is Spanish class, Senora Barley or Senora Teague." Barley was my first, and she'd be hitting us with German, French.
So she wouldn't notice that she was.
Well, she's old and she was getting a little out
She
there.
thought she was speaking Spanish, and actually she was speaking German.
Yeah, and then she got real salty with you when you called her out on it, and so the kids just ended up abusing her. And kids end up just abusing her, making fun of her the whole time, and myself included. I was no better. I'm a savage too. I was
Since you were a teenager.
No, I was a piece of garbage. I sat we sat in trailers, right? We had this what are they called? Portables? What are they called now? It was a trailer. But where my seat was at, it was near the window with the air conditioner, and which both were open. Again, she's not smart.
Sure.
She was cheese slipping off the cracker. And so the air's blowing, and the window's open, and the wind keeps blowing, and the curtains are whacking me. I literally took the curtain, balled up, and threw it out the window.
Oh.
She didn't even notice because she's not observant.
Oh.
And so for the whole year, that curtain was gone because it kept whacking me in the back there.
Sound like you're the teacher from Sideways Stories from Wayside School.
She was a little out there, man. She was so I didn't learn a thing in that year.
Sure.
I mean, part of it's my fault. I was
just like Sean didn't learn anything from his English class, but for different reasons.
Mine actually went on to become a police officer. Ooh, I don't know if she still is a police officer, but
that would be weird with those two big assets. Then stopping you and to give you a ticket, and you will be like, whoa.
It's one of those you're not getting out of this ticket.
She go by Officer Tackleberry when she Young Guns? Or I mean, police cats?
I
gotta be careful because she might actually still be out there and armed. Yeah.
Don't move, dirtbag!
I remember you now.
You're the one who didn't pay attention in Spanish class.
I don't remember what she looked like. I mean, parts of her.
I hate to tell you this, but it's been a few years. I don't think she'd be on the force now. She might be retired or,
Let's see. That would have been my junior year. So 2000 to 2001. So yeah, 20
years
years
ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
she might be a veteran now. She might be a lieutenant.
Could be a sarge.
Yeah.
Did she move to a different area?
I don't know. Her last name is Yepes, or was.
Ah.
Might not be anymore. There, the curtain has been fully pulled.
Now they know her, and it's like, oh yeah, she works with PD.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get a phone call.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, I'm listening to your show.
We pulled up all your records.
Well, the one I'm talking about, I'm pretty sure is dead. If not, she's in Maryland.
Right.
So.
Oh, sure, you're safe.
Well, if she's alive today, I want what she's having because she was older than dirt then, and this was in 89, 88.
Whoa.
So yeah.
I don't think she is. Or if she is, she will be like 120 or what?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure.
She will be in the Guinness record now.
Because she was very smart when she was younger. She retired 5 years before she did, and that's the problem.
Mikey, I stayed alive long enough just to spite you.
Stay alive?
Right, to teach you German. All right, it is 9:14. We're going to play our interview we have at the Roswell Public Library talking about back-to-school activity and things available for parents and students at the library. And then, of course, we'll get you up to date with the weather and the news and whatever else we can conjure up for this hour of the show.
Indeed.
Activity.
Yeah. It's like octopi.
Yeah. Activity.
I'm going to make that a thing where the plural for activities is activiti.
Activities.
I want to make that a change in the word. Get the Webster's mirroring people on the phone, and let's get that.
Well, I think that more respect needs to be put on the I as a plural.
I think so too.
It's
I
only
like
used like 3 times, like octopi,
Syllabi.
samurai, syllabi. Samurai.
Activity.
So I should not learn English from you guys.
No. Well, I think you should, because this is the way we should do
You'll
it.
learn super colorful English.
But if you got to
It is.
take a test on the English, yeah, you
Put it
probably
this way.
won't.
You'll know when the best time to buy your next new vehicle is.
Okay.
That's for sure.
That won't have to occupy your brain.
Occupy.
All right, it's 9:15. Here's your weather. Whether you like it or not, I can't tell you that.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We still have plenty of moist air coming in with the monsoon, and it looks like we've got a pretty good chance of showers and thunderstorms. Most of those will be this afternoon. Partly sunny, and our afternoon highs in the low to mid-80s. Just a few evening showers tonight, and then cloudy after midnight, our low in the upper 60s. And then tomorrow, another chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms, mid-80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. And currently, hold on. I forgot to refresh. I don't like when I don't refresh. If I don't give you freshness, this is fresher. There you go. Now, currently 71 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 71%. No coincidence there. Winds out of the north, 8 miles per hour. We do have a 30% chance at some showers and thunderstorms for this afternoon. They're talking the main activity should be happening 3-4 this afternoon after that. They say some of these storms could produce some heavy rainfall. Mostly cloudy today with a high of 85 and northeast winds at around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, we're also looking at a 30% chance at showers and thunderstorms. Once again, some of these storms could produce some heavy rainfall. Mostly cloudy, overnight low of 68 with south winds at around 5 miles per hour. Tuesday, we're looking at a 40% chance at showers and thunderstorms. Once again, some of these storms could produce some heavy rainfall. Partly cloudy otherwise with a high of 87 tomorrow, south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, a 40% chance of rain as well. Once again, some of those storms could produce heavy rainfall, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 68, south winds 5 to 10. Then looking at the rest of the week on Wednesday, 30% chance at showers and thunderstorms for the afternoon, mostly cloudy, high of 85, south winds 5 to 10. Thursday, rain chances probably wrapping up Wednesday night. And then Thursday, Friday, just sunshine, mostly sunny, high of 88 on Thursday. Sunny with a high of 93 on Friday, and then warmer for the weekend as well. Sunny and 96 on Saturday. There is a slight chance of showers Sunday, otherwise mostly sunny, highs right around 95. All right, it is 9:17. Excuse me. Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and then on the other side of the break, our interview with the ladies from the Roswell Public Library, talking about back to school and all the other programs they got going on. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
The party returns. Red Dirt Black Gold 2021. Get ready for a night chock full of the best red dirt country around. It all kicks off at 5:30 with Tell Runyon, followed by Josh Malloy at 6:30. Then things really heat up with Bart Crow at 8.
Baby, give me back my ring.
And Reckless Kelly at 10.
But I'm never getting over Jody.
Best of all, it's absolutely free. Get more info at reddirtblackgold.com. Red Dirt Black Gold 2021, Saturday, August 28th in downtown Artesia. Boots are optional, but encouraged. Ad paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward & Son Insurance Agency. Auto and home, life and health, personal and commercial. Bonds too, since 1925, we have the coverage for you. Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward & Son Insurance Agency.
Sometimes we put off important health needs like surgeries because, well, we worry about the pain and time needed for recovery. Dr. Paul Torres, a board-certified general surgeon, has joined Loveless Specialty Healthcare and is helping patients in the Roswell area get back to the lives they love with less pain and a faster recovery through advances in minimally invasive surgery. To find out if laparoscopic surgery is the best solution for you, call Loveless and make an appointment today at 575-625-3222.
Being in the Army National Guard is about more than just serving your country. It's about being there for your community when your neighbors need you most. The Army National Guard makes college affordable. Serving part-time lets you attend school full-time while you take advantage of education benefits that can help you graduate debt-free. If a civilian career is your goal, serving part-time allows you to work at a full-time job. The skills, qualities, and contacts you'll develop in the Guard can open doors to a great civilian career. Want to serve but worried about being away from friends and family? Part-time service in the Army National Guard allows you to serve close to home. Serving in the Army National Guard lets you have the life you want while you enjoy the many benefits of serving your community and nation. You owe it to yourself to learn more about how the Army National Guard can fit into your life. Visit nationalguard.com.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 95% of people text things they could never say in person. Check your text messages. We just sent you something. Here's Mike Winters.
Joining us.
And good morning.
This morning
It
from the
is
Roswell Public Library.
minutes after
Tracy
7
Fryback
o'clock,
with
and
us.
joining
And
us
also joining us this morning from the Roswell Public Library. Tracy Fryback with us, and also joining us here is Tiffany Rockwell as well. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Good morning.
How's everything at the library this morning?
It's not open yet, but it's
So great right now. It's
Right.
nice and quiet, and
Yes.
a good time to read while you're there.
Yeah.
But of course, it's been a busy summer.
Yes, it has.
I know you guys have had the summer reading program going, and we're about ready to wrap that up. So hopefully, families have been able to take advantage of that and not only get their reading in, but get some of the prizes and do some of the other activities that are part of the summer reading program. I guess if you haven't, you got a week left. I don't know if you can finish the whole program in that, but you could certainly. You know, I'd never a wrong time to start reading, so come on and get involved here. We can get a couple of books read and things before they go back to school here. So if you're just hearing about it, you're behind the 8 ball, but come on down. Yeah. But now that I guess really you guys are kind of almost shifting to back to school mode now, right? It's kind of I know you guys kind of have like just like anything else, like the seasons and things,
Right.
But yours kind of coincide with the school year a little bit, and
Yes.
because that's families' lives coincide with the school year, and that's kind of so you guys are probably like, all right, we're getting out of the head of summer mode and into the head of back to school.
Yes.
Which means there's a lot going on for back to school too, or after the summer reading program.
Correct.
Yeah, good deal. So put these things on your calendar. I always tell people, especially if you got families with kids, but really anybody, follow or like or whatever you want to call on that, the Roswell Public Library's Facebook, or Instagram page, or both, depending if you use both social medias. Those are great ways to kind of stay up to date on everything we're going to talk about here, but everything outside of that, like when you guys have various arts and crafts nights or things like that, the projects are put up on the Facebook page or Instagram.
Yes.
You can take the pictures and see all that, but you can stay up to date. It's like, hey, don't forget we got a STEM related thing that's coming up this weekend.
Right.
It's always on there. So please like and follow. That's the modern age of putting things up on the refrigerator.
Yes.
Like when we were younger, we used to put schedules, like everyone's sports schedules or school schedules. They get taped or magnetized to the refrigerator. Facebook's our new refrigerator magnet.
And if they need more information, they can also call the library anytime, and we'll be happy to let them know what's going on.
Yeah, and I think you all print out calendars and things too. So if you're like, no, my magnet thing is the magnet thing. All right, well then we can get you printed off, put one up on the refrigerator there for you.
And speaking of which, we also have like a little brochure of fall activities. I can hand that to you so you can take a look. Maybe it's something you're interested in doing.
Okay.
But yeah, we have things coming up, like our grand reopening of our children's area.
Very good. So yeah, you got lots of stuff coming up in the fall here.
Right.
Story times, all the things that we kind of expect from, like, especially pre-COVID. That was kind of, a couple times a week there were story times. There's just always something all geared towards different age groups. Generally, like you said, in the mornings when the elementary kids are in school, you guys got stuff for like the toddlers and the preschool going on in the mornings there, or homeschooled.
Right.
And then usually in the afternoons, like 3 o'clock, then the elementary age kids are off school, and so you guys would have things that, and then usually like on the weekends and stuff, you guys have a lot of stuff for teens and all that. So all that's starting to come back again.
Yeah.
So good deal. So do we want to just start going through some of this stuff, or do you want to?
Right. Well, that's going to start in September. What's coming up? Like I'll say in August.
Okay. Yeah. Let's get to that first.
Yeah. Well, so actually, we're going to be at the farmers market on August 7th, and we'll be giving out information that day.
Okay. So that'll be 2 Saturdays from now.
Correct. And we're going to also have their Barbara Chavez, who couldn't be with us today, is going to be demonstrating solar ovens, how they work at the...
Oh, nice.
And then we'll have, of course, information about library programs that are coming up.
All right. Are they cooking food in the solar ovens for everybody?
Well, when she did it at the library, they were melting, seeing how quick things melted. I don't know if we're going to actually cook.
Okay. I don't know. Well, let's melt some cheese.
Yeah. On a tortilla, something.
It's like, remember like the Easy Bake Ovens when we were kids?
That's what everybody was saying. It reminds them of the Easy Bake Ovens.
I got to imagine the solar's got to be stronger than that light bulb, right? I mean,
probably that time of day, yes.
That light bulb cook a cake. It'd take, I mean, we could, it's the sun. It's the most powerful energy source in the galaxy, right? Surely we could whip out a tortilla. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. I hope not, too.
Could we whip out a quesadilla off this thing or something?
We'll make some pancakes, something.
But that's cool. So look for that out at the Garden Farmers Market on the 7th.
Right.
So it won't be this Saturday, but I think
the following
Saturday. Man, is it already that quick?
Yeah.
Golly.
And then we have the grand reopening of the children's area. We even have invited the mayor to be there for our ribbon cutting.
Okay.
And we're gonna, have a costume character, I should say.
Okay.
And
she's pointing to me for a reason.
We'll have balloons and games, and so that should be really fun.
Just kind of welcome the kids to the new kids section here,
right?
The remodeled, revamp. Now this was this a lot of this from the damage to the water stuff they had?
Right.
This is
correct.
We're finally, I know, like, even prior to that, you guys were kind of tweaking and redoing the kids section a little bit. This just kind of forced your hand a little bit and said, we're going to have to fix it sooner rather than later here.
Yes.
So this is great news. Because it was weirdly timed. Because COVID hit, and then like a week or two later, if I remember it, that's when the pipes burst and everything. It was just, pardon the pun, but when it rained, it poured, and it literally did that here. And So now we are a year later. We're back to less COVID stuff, which means we can have more activities in there. And it just so happens that while you're here come check out the new kids section. We got it all fixed up and new, and which I'm guessing too. That kind of gives you a chance to kind of tweak it to work a little bit better in your favor. You know what I mean? I'm just guessing, like, education, everything, ideas and how we do things change. Right. When that kids area was originally designed, the conceptually how we do kids areas probably is a little different thinking now than it was when that was originally designed. So now you're like, hey, back then we thought it was good to put the teen books with this, but whatever.
We know to separate the teen books away from the children's books now. And
now it's kind of like, well, now with the little kids, if you make them like a little cubby area, they're going to be more apt to read in there. So we're going to, kind of like if everybody ever goes to the Artesia Public Library, they built that thing, I don't know, 5, 8, 10 years ago, whenever that thing was built. It's a beautiful facility. And now, granted, they have help, so they can build really cool places, look like arcs and stuff like that.
Right.
We're relying a little bit on city funding. But anyway, what I mean is they create spaces over there, and that's kind of when they built that was kind of the ideology at the time, and now you guys can incorporate some of that here because, hey, burst pipe creates an opportunity. Let's do that. So, but come see it.
And we're going to actually, down the road, we don't have it yet, but we're going to have a boat in the children's area. But everything is still evolving. We're still adding things in.
Sure.
And we also have a artist named Taja. I believe that's how you pronounce her name. Forgive me if it's wrong.
Okay.
And she's doing a skyline of Roswell so you should come over and check that out. That's pretty cool.
Like a mural or a painting, whatever you call it. That's cool.
Yeah, it's a mural.
Oh, cool.
So that's pretty cool. And she also did the
Four Seasons.
The Four Seasons on these on the
nice.
end.
On the pillars.
Okay.
On the pillars in the children's area. It's
Oh,
really cool.
That does sound cool. So come see it.
Yes.
Come check it out. Come explore the Children's Library. And
Really quite beautiful.
And bring your family or adults. You're coming. You don't have to pick out a book from the children's side, but come check it out, and then head over to the adult section and pick out a book.
Many adults have just gone over there to look at the artwork.
Yeah, sounds like it. That's that in and of itself. Maybe would they frown upon you if you grabbed a newspaper and sat over by
Absolutely
that section
not.
just to? I don't know if you're like,
There's
I don't have
many
any kids here. I
there's
just
many
want to look at the
comfortable
mural.
Well, we have our eyes on you, so.
Make sure you just keep reading your paper there. But and of course, one thing I want to mention for families here, especially that I know you don't want to say this yet, but you're going to be gearing up for back to school in a couple of weeks here and everything else. Don't forget the library is a great resource to help with tutoring and all that. Your library card that, if you're a member in good standing with that, not only do you have access to everything inside the library, but all of its online services and that as well. And through that, like if you need help with tutoring, if your child needs extra time on particular subject. I mean, they go from elementary up to college level tutoring in there. This is all resources available to you free of charge. If just by picking up and being a member of the Roswell Public Library.
And we also are offering free printing for homework assignments only for children.
Great. So if they got to print off stuff and you're like, we
don't have a printer,
don't have a printer at the house, or don't want to pay a couple bucks copying and all that other mess, or going to one of the stores.
Exactly.
Library, come and help you do that stuff. As long as it's for schoolwork.
Correct.
And they can tell you the difference. Like if you look out and it's for a dance tomorrow night, we're going to sniff that one out.
You have to pay.
It's like announcing a dance at your house on Friday. It doesn't feel like homework to me.
And I think they would even probably print it out. They would just send it out through their
Oh yeah.
on their phone.
You're right. I'm doing old school. I just showed my age, didn't I? I was like, we print out a flyer for a party. We just get on our text thing or Twitter or whatever. Sorry, I got old school on you, man. Sorry about that. But no one's trying to slip that one. But if you need copies, it's free here. What else we want to mention?
Tiffany is going to be running our Girls Who Code. And
let's talk with
This is a new program that we're going to be starting this fall. It's for grades. Well, mostly for grades 7 through 12 girls.
Okay, so middle school up to high school.
Doing just girls this year. And yes, it's going to start August the 21st. It's going to run for 10 weeks.
Okay.
And we're focusing on coding because we want to get the girls into the tech.
Okay. So is this like you started like the basics of coding and all that?
I was a programmer before I became a librarian.
Okay.
So, but yes, it's.
So I'm going to ask a question. This may again, Mike, like my flyer idea, be a bit outdated, but I'm curious.
It's fine.
Yes.
Because I remember I'm old enough. I'm of the age where like our first home computers were like Apple IICs.
Yes, I learned on those.
Yeah, that was my very first home computer was an Apple IIC.
Yes.
For anybody that owned one of those knows that at that time, unless you were pretty savvy with a computer, there wasn't really a whole lot you could do with the thing.
No.
One of the things that I did do was you could go buy like computer magazines and programming, and in these magazines they would literally have just pages of code.
Absolutely.
And if you copied and got all the code in correct, every little colon and semi, I mean it's a monotonous task. If you got all that right, you got to play like Hangman or something at the end.
Yes.
And that was kind of it. They give you the code. It's like, do all this code, and at the end you can play Hangman.
Yep. My first one was Pythagorean theorem.
Okay.
Which was super fun for a middle school student to learn.
This is exciting. We're talking light years away from the Oregon Trail and all the ones that people talk about now.
Right.
But I mean, do you go that basic where they're going into the DOS and doing that kind of thing, or is that
these are
too old?
Yeah, these are more entertaining. Like this is this is Scratch. It's something called Scratch, but it's more like sentence structure where they just connect. It's pictures almost.
Okay.
It's they just connect and they like one of the ones that I was testing them out, and you can do like it's almost like a comic almost.
Okay.
Where it's a dinosaurs and they play on the screen. And
Okay.
stuff. It's pretty
Okay,
fun.
so it's more advanced and modernized.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I didn't know if.
And it only takes like maybe mine that I'd created was like 30 minutes.
Okay.
And you're done.
And then I didn't know because like even Windows and things aren't even DOS based anymore. So I was like, I didn't know if you still had to do the DOS style things to get anything done, or if it's a whole other ball of wax.
Scratch was actually created by an MIT like class or
Okay.
something. But yes.
Gotcha. So it's way more. Oh, which makes sense. I mean, I would
Yes.
hope it would be. We still aren't.
It's much more user friendly.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be like saying, I still don't have a crank. I've got to turn to get my car going, and so you don't want to go back to that time. They've advanced.
But there's like YouTube videos of like preteens that
are
do
creating,
Scratch
doing
and
this stuff.
love it, and they just do it for fun.
That's great. And then I guess that's kind of the basis for everything else. So if you're getting that down, then in theory you've got the core fundamentals of writing a game or writing any other software program or something like that. Really cool. Yes. Now, again, this is for girls 7th grade through 12th grade.
Yes, that's correct. It starts August the 21st.
Okay,
it's
just
going to run
come
for 10 weeks.
So they can just come by the library and sign up there.
Actually, they can go to the website that I've got listed on here. It's hq.girlswhocode.com.
Okay.
And if they use this code, the code is NM36172. That's specific to our library.
Okay.
And they can sign up online.
Perfect. Is there a link on the Facebook or Instagram pages
yes,
they can go to?
It's on Facebook and it's on our library website.
Okay, so you can find the link pretty easy there, and if you can't find it, just call the library, and they'll be happy to guide you to that. But sounds pretty good if you're a lady that 7th grade to 12th grade and would love to learn more about computer programming and software and really. All of that inner working, and that'll give you a good foundation, and then you can start your formal training if you want to pursue careers and things like that, or if it's just for a hobby. Or I would even think,
we're going to do more than Scratch, so it's not just Scratch.
Well, and here's the part that I don't think folks should realize here is regardless of where you are in your passive career pursuit, whether it's to be a dancer or an engineer or a mathematician or start your own business, whatever it is, making widget A, B, or C, or whatever. Regardless of any of that, all these skills translate and are useful in that because I don't care where you're at in life and what you're doing in life, you're going to be doing something in front of a computer that requires interaction, software things, and to have that understanding is going to serve you well, even if you have no plans to write code or write a piece of software someday. You never know when that kind of stuff will come in handy.
Yeah, it's fun to know what goes on in the background too.
Exactly. Yeah, you understand it. You fix your own problems.
Right.
Yeah, when you go through and your computer, because let's face it, everybody's computer, you want to throw it out the window at some point. I don't care who you are, where you are, and how much time you spend on a computer. You spend any kind of time, there's going to be a day where you just want to chuck that sucker right out the window. Some more than once a day. But good deal. So sign up for this, and next thing you know, you might be setting the path for you're the one who's created the next big game for EA or the next software program that every business on the planet has a standard operating procedure for their company. You know?
Right.
You'd be the next Bill Gates. You never know.
Or Melinda.
Or Melinda Gates, yeah. Who's about to be the richer one now? I'm not really. I think Melinda. I don't know. But maybe Bill Gates. Bill Gates 20 years ago, not Bill Gates. I guess I should have clarified there. Steve Wozniak. Be the next Steve Wozniak. Go down the list here. Good deal. What else do we want to make sure we let folks know about?
Let's see. That August 3rd, we're going to start our adult coloring program. So if adults stop in at the library, they'll have coloring sheets and pencils, and they just take it and go sit somewhere and just start coloring.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with this, adult coloring is kind of a trend that started up a couple years ago, and basically it's a stress relief for adults.
Yes.
Now the coloring books are a little bit more advanced. These aren't like the ones your kids get. So you're like, oh, that ain't hard. No. These require a little bit more attention to detail and coloring skills. But the whole thought behind it is it allows you a chance to just focus on coloring, de-stress, just a way to kind of help you. And who knows, maybe you turn it into a hobby or a thing that's something you do the rest of your life. But if you'd like to try it, library's a great way to do it. You don't have to shell out all the money because
it's free.
Yeah, it can get kind of expensive buying all the equipment the first time. And then if you do all that and you're like, well, this is not my cup of tea. Well, you just wasted a bunch of money. The library, you come out, try that, and you're like, maybe color a picture or two, and then you're like, hey, you know what? I kind of dug this. Then invest some money in your stuff. Turn it into a social thing. That's kind of, I know in years past, before COVID, when this was kind of a weekly thing,
right?
It was just as much a gathering of people as it was a, hey, we're here to color. It was more
it was more of a socialized thing.
Kind of like Legos.
Yeah.
Legos and coloring books seem to make friends, and I don't care what age you are, what group you are. Put a pile of Legos or a bunch of coloring books on the floor, people just gather and have fun.
Legos coming later in the fall. It's coming.
Just saying.
There you go.
You want to make friends, coloring books and Legos.
Yes.
And cheese sandwiches, and everybody's happy.
Yeah. So our coloring thing is going to be Tuesdays from 5 to 6:30. It's every Tuesday starting August 3rd. So.
Excellent.
So anytime, can't make the first one, just come to the next one.
Yeah, it's going to be a monthly thing, and it really is.
It's going to be weekly.
Or a weekly thing, I'm sorry. It really, I know some people kind of like, oh, really? Especially men. I'm sure a few men are like, come on, coloring book, what are we, 7? What are we doing here? But, it is kind of fun. I mean, to be honest, I love it because if you're kind of creative or have a creative, desire, but your desire doesn't match your skill set, if that makes sense. Yes. I like creative and being creative, but I can't cut a straight line or something. I don't have the skill set. Coloring, it kind of gives you, because it gives you a guide. You get it, and by the end of the day, you feel like you've made something creative, and so it's great for all skill levels, whether you've got that ability or you just, oil and water makes mud every time for you. Just happens to happen that way. I get you. I'm one of those people.
Yes.
No matter how right you think you do, it just doesn't come out right. So.
Yeah.
What else do we want to mention?
The only thing we're pretty much done, but I just want to remind everybody, August 28th to come for if they can. It starts at 11 a.m., the grand reopening of our children's area.
Mark it on your calendars. The 28th, there's going to be all kinds of
fun activities,
fun stuff. Bring the whole family. Come out and, we'll talk more about it as we get closer because we're still a little over a month away from that. But yeah, put it on your calendars. The grand reopening of just in time for back to school here. I think we'll be in school a week or two by then. But by then, you're probably really ready to, all right, let's get the kids to the library now. And so come out for the grand opening and everything else. And
yes.
Pick your spot. Yep. I think that's kind of, I like when you come back in the new, I think kids, it'll be regulars. They're kind of going to be out scoping their cubby or place of where they can kind of go hide and read.
Right.
Which is where you need.
Yeah.
So. Yep. Excellent. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate. Come by the library. Follow or like the Roswell Public Library on Facebook or Instagram, or go to their website. You'll find a link to the city's website, roswell-nm.gov. But I never remember the actual website for the Roswell. It used to be something 405. I know they've redone all that. So I don't know. Just you can Google.
If you Google Roswell Public Library, Roswell, New Mexico.
Put the NM in, unless you want to learn about the Georgia Library.
Exactly.
Which is fine. It's a bit of a commute to get any books. But learn about their library. But I learned a lot about their police department. I've learned about some of their parks. I've learned a lot about Roswell, Georgia. I feel like I know a little bit about that place.
Just a little.
Never set foot. But please, follow that. And like I said, we got about a week or two left of the summer the summer reading program going on. I know we're a little late to complete that, but if you got some family trips or something coming up, let's get your kids reading. The more they're reading this summer, the easier it's going to be when they go back to school here in a couple weeks. So hopefully they've been reading regularly throughout the summer. If not, let's start getting them in, pick up a book or two, and let's see if we can get them reading a few books here this week, or at least, and then, getting them into that mindset of that again and helping them out with that, because it's especially the younger kids when they're in that fundamental developing these reading and writing and those basic skills. There's so much time's lost in those 2 months that they're out. Sometimes that you need to kind of keep that nourishment going a little bit. You don't have to be school the whole time, but keep them actively using these skills till they become second nature for them.
And if they're not big on wanting to read chapter books, there are graphic novels there. So
yeah, absolutely. Reading's reading.
Exactly.
Now, granted, subject matter is appropriate for ages and things, but reading a magazine or a graphic novel or a comic book, to me, is just you're reading the story, you're following it. Yes, you have pictures as aids. So what? You're learning to read. You're using those skills. What better can that help you independently learn how to read by using pictures and things? That's problem-solving skills. These are all developing all of that by doing things like looking at comic books and stuff like that. So don't knock it. It's all good. So awesome. Anything we missed? Anything we wanted to share?
No, I think we covered it all.
And then don't forget, ladies, if you wanna learn coding and tech things here, sign up. Again, it's for girls, 7th grade up through 12th grade. You'll find links at the library's website. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to call, and
I'm usually the one that answers.
And we'll be happy to get you in that information and everything you need. So good deal. Well, thank you guys. Stay dry.
Yeah, this is windy
cool.
now.
I don't know what to tell you. Stay cool or dry, or both. And we'll see you guys next time here.
All right.
Okay? All right. Take care.
Take
care.
Have
a good weekend.
You too.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 7 o'clock.
Monitor your information. They will alert you to potential identity threats. If you're a victim, you'll get a dedicated U.S.-based specialist that will help fix it for you. No one can prevent all identity theft, monitor every transaction of every single business. But when identity thieves try to take what is yours, don't take it lying down. LifeLock sees the threats you miss on your own. And today you save up to 25% off your first year. Call 1-800-LifeLock. Go to LifeLock.com. Use the promo code Hannity to save that 25%. That's LifeLock.com, 1-800-LifeLock.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We still have plenty of moist air coming in with the monsoon, and it looks like we've got a pretty good chance of showers and thunderstorms. Most of those will be this afternoon. Partly sunny, and our afternoon highs in the low to mid-80s. Just a few evening showers tonight, and then cloudy after midnight, our low in the upper 60s. And then tomorrow, another chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms, mid-80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Rich Thomason. Wall Street starts off the week and the new month with gains. The benchmarks opened higher this morning, encouraged by the latest earnings reports as well as word of progress in Washington on an infrastructure bill. China's manufacturing growth slowed last month to its lowest level in 15 months. Export demand weakened and factories coped with disruptions in supplies of raw materials and components. Luxury sports car maker Ferrari has surged back to second quarter growth, posting a $245 million profit after seeing its earnings drop sharply in the same period 1 year ago due to the coronavirus pandemic. Digital payments company Square says it has agreed to acquire Afterpay, which provides a buy now, pay later option for merchants. All-stock deal valued at roughly $29 billion. With business, I'm Rich Thomason.
Red Dirt Black Gold 2021 is coming. Saturday, August 28th in downtown Artesia. The all-day festival celebrating heritage, tradition, and a whole lot of fun. Booth space is available. If you're a local entrepreneur, artisan, or small business owner, this is your chance to be a part of the biggest block party of the year. It's only $50 to reserve your spot, but space is limited and time is running out. Get more info and print your application now at reddirtblackgold.com. Red Dirt Black Gold 2021, Saturday, August 28th in downtown Artesia. Ad paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
Celebrate the 80th anniversary of the last escape of Billy the Kid at Old Lincoln Days, Friday, August 6th through Sunday, August 8th in historic Lincoln, New Mexico. The annual folk pageant portrays Billy the Kid's last escape and the notorious Lincoln County War, complete with food vendors, live music, arts and crafts, a parade, and so much more. The 80th anniversary is extra special, with concerts every day included in the price of your ticket, featuring the Clay Mack Band on Friday and Saturday night, and Susie Weber Hildman with Olivia and Dan Hildman on Sunday afternoon. Admission is only $10 for adults. Kids 6 through 12 are $6, and kids 5 and under are free. Tickets are available at the gate beginning at 10 a.m. each morning. Get ready for this once-in-a-generation experience, the 80th anniversary of Old Lincoln Days and the last escape of Billy the Kid, August 6th through the 8th in historic Lincoln, New Mexico. Watch history come alive.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. I'm a better neighbor because my service has taught me how important it is to be a team player. My training helps me in my classes when I give attention to detail to the task at hand. My service also allows me to be there for my community in ways others can't. I help my hometown recover after nature strikes. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my country and those I care about safe from threats. I also work with a network of professionals that help me succeed. Also, the Army National Guard's education benefits make getting a higher education a reality. Being an Army National Guard soldier makes living and serving in my community more rewarding every day. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You cannot snore and dream at the same time, unless you're dreaming about snoring. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 9:51. Got a few minutes here before we wrap up today's show. But yes, don't forget, this weekend is the annual event that it's really a great event. The Billy the Kid pageant, the Old Lincoln Days, the last escape of Billy the Kid. It's the 80th year celebrating the pageant this year, and it's happening this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday there in the village of Lincoln. The highlight of the weekend are always the pageant, the actual last escape of Billy the Kid pageant. It takes place on the pageant grounds, which are located right next to what would be the courthouse there, where the National Park Service run. It's right next door to that. And that's the main, I mean, there's so much more going on, but that's kind of the big event is there at the pageant grounds. Now, they do a performance, and it's the 7 days of the Lincoln County War. The whole war lasted years, but the 7 days that kind of made everybody famous and all the main fighting, and, of course, the portrayal of Billy the Kid's escape from the jail later. All of that's part of the pageant. And the script that they write, that they use to make the pageant was written by people that were alive during the Lincoln County War and people that lived and were part of the Lincoln County War. So the actual script that they use for the pageant is about as historical as the events they're portraying. It's really cool. It's really awesome. They do a whole show. Now, there's going to be a Friday night and a Saturday night performance. Those are at 8:30 p.m. and then a Sunday matinee at 3 p.m. Now, tickets, which you can get at the front gate beginning at 10 a.m. there by the pageant grounds, each morning, this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They can start buying tickets at 10 a.m. Cost is $10 for adults. If you're a child 6 through 12, it's $6, and then kids 5 and under are completely free. Now, your $10 or kids fee ticket, the cost of admission will get you into the pageant that day, whether it's Friday night, Saturday night, or Sunday afternoon. Plus, you get a free concert that's part of that, too. If you come out to the Friday or Saturday night performances, get there at 7 p.m. or get there even earlier to tour and do things. But at 7 o'clock, you'll get a free concert with the Clay Mack Band from Deming, New Mexico. And then after the concert, you go in and enjoy the pageant. On Sunday afternoon, of course, they've got the Cowboy Church. They have the parade that afternoon. And then at 1:30, they will have live music with Susie Weber Hildman, and then Olivia and Dan Hildman will accompany. And then they'll perform at 1:30, and then the last escape performance will be at 3 o'clock on Sunday there. Plus, while you're there, check out, they have all kinds of arts and crafts vendors, booths, food, of course. They usually do little demonstrations like blacksmithing and various other places you can go. And, of course, you get to see all the historic buildings and stuff. Most of them are open. I actually got to go to Lincoln in July, around the 4th of July weekend. We did UFO Fest one day, and then we had some family in town. So we went to Lincoln and Fort Stanton there and toured those areas, and they're great. And most of the buildings in Lincoln were open then, and I imagine that like the National Park Service runs the historic buildings, the courthouse, which is also the Murphy store prior to being the courthouse, the old courthouse, the visitor center at the other end of town that talks about the Lincoln County War, Buffalo Soldiers, all of that. And then there's one or two other buildings, the church, and a couple others that are open as well that these were buildings that not only were there during the Lincoln County Wars, but also played active roles. And here's something I'd like to tell, but make plans to attend. It's happened this weekend. But past the live read part I'm telling you about here, just, me personally going out there and checking out. If you get a chance, because I've been out to Lincoln multiple times, and every single time I go out there, I learn something new because it's great. If you take time and start reading some of the displays, like in the courthouse and in the visitor center and some of the various buildings, and just kind of read and just take your time going through and reading the detailed events, because not only we get a very very great account of what they believed, how everything went down that day, and the locations and everything, and the players involved, the sheriffs and everything. You kind of get a clearer picture of the whole story. And what I like about it is, obviously, a lot of people watch the Young Gun movies, and of course, when you watch those movies, the Billy the Kid's the hero in those, and so he's the good guy in those movies and things. And I'm not saying he was a bad guy. What I'm saying is, there was no real, when you look at the lay of the land, you look at the people involved, and what really went on out there was, there was some crazy nefarious stuff, don't get me wrong, but the sheriffs, and it's a very bloody, or a very blurred line. That's the word I was looking for. Blurred line between good guys, the guys in the white hats versus the guys in the black hats. The Lincoln County War is so much more involved in that. And I think by sitting and reading this stuff and reading everybody, and because like you go into the courthouse and there's a thing honoring all this, because everybody had a badge too. That's something you don't realize is pretty much both sides were all, badged up and government officials and everything else. So it's like, who's right? It's a whole, and you get to really read more about that as you're kind of reading the different things and just the history. And to be honest, and I've said this on the show before, if you want to know why New Mexico is the way New Mexico is, why it just seems, and people that were born and raised here probably don't know better because you don't know different, But me growing up in Maryland and growing up, I've seen how other states do things, and things that get done here in New Mexico are just different sometimes. And you always wonder, why do they do? And I think you look at like Lincoln County and you look and read the history, you kind of get a better understanding why New Mexico's New Mexico. Just the way things were handled back then with the Santa Fe ring and the cattle, the smuggle and the shadiness that was going on there. And it was all done with the government's, stamp of approval, so to speak. So it's really muddy stuff we talk about. It's not as black and white as the Young Guns movies portray it to be. But I definitely, that's the cool part for me anyway. That's why I love going on. It's cool to see the gunfights and hear that history, but when you peel back the curtain and read about the times and things, like one thing I was kind of reading up on the last time I was there was at the time, for those that don't know, where you're living at here in Roswell, Chaves County, during the time of the Lincoln County Wars, you were not in Chaves County. Chaves County did not exist. This was all still part of Lincoln County, and the town of Lincoln was the county seat. And now the county seat in Lincoln is Carrizozo. But when that transition happened, when they moved the county seat from Lincoln, New Mexico to Carrizozo. That was a whole thing. The state's bringing their guys down to collect the records and stuff from the clerk's office to move them to Carrizozo. And guess what? The people of Lincoln met them with an armed guard of people to not let them have this stuff. That's the kind of stuff. I mean, how many people know that? I bet there's probably a lot of people, unless you're reading or studying, don't realize that kind of stuff happens. And that's New Mexico history. And now I didn't have the advantage of growing up in school here. Like I said, I grew up in Maryland, so my history about the state I didn't learn in school like a lot of people did. And I don't even know if they teach, and I'm sure they didn't get all the Lincoln and Billy the Kid stuff when they taught that stuff. But it's all part of the history, and I think it's fascinating. I think every one of us, if you call New Mexico home, you should make a trip up to Lincoln just to see that and understand why we are and why things are done this way. I really think good, bad, and indifferent. Lincoln really is a microcosm of that, I think, in my opinion. But anyway, we got to go. I got a little winded on that. Thanks for allowing us to be a part of your day. Have a wonderful day. We will talk to you bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow. Take care, everybody.
Hugh Hewitt is now in Roswell.